Plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
96.5 The Fan is your exclusive home for Chiefs football, with pregame starting 3 hours before kickoff with Josh Briscoe. Then it's the call of the game with Mitch Holtis, Dayton Hughes, and Josh Klingler.
Caught! Touchdown! Kansas City! Travis Kelce owning this game!
Followed by postgame coverage featuring exclusive one-on-one interviews with Andy Reid and Chiefs players inside the locker room. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Happy Thursday from us fellas here at Fescoe and Dusty with Mac Morey as well. Bob Fescoe, Dusty Likens, Mac Morey, all with you on a glorious Thursday. Ben Maller coming up a little bit later. Nate Taylor as well, and Golden Locks with our guy, Alex Gold.
Smash.
Should be a fun day. Probably everybody in the entire world is having a better day than Sharon Moore. The news that is the news of yesterday, of today. In case you missed it, the former head coach of the Michigan Wolverines relieved of his duties due to the entire backstory. Here we go. So he had an affair with a staff member, got her pregnant, had an abortion forced by him to her, then broke into her house when he was fired and threatened to cause harm to her and himself, was arrested and then taken to jail. And that's the story that happened yesterday in a matter of about, an hour via all the news for us, as Sharon Moore out as Michigan's head coach. They have an interim head coach for their bowl game against Texas in the Cheez-It Bowl. What a story yesterday that you will hear throughout the entire day on all these shows, I would assume. Just an absolute bombshell of a story that should not have ever happened because, well, like we said yesterday, where are the weirdest places or the worst places you've ever taken a dump? Right. We all say, don't blink where you eat. Sharon Moore did not get that narrative.
No, he didn't get that message at all. And yesterday was one of those wild days because I think we all probably had the same experience. So Michigan fires their football coach. You're like, well, that's an odd timing, right? Everybody thought like odd timing to fire your coach. I don't know what happened. Who knows what went on? And then you start to hear the story and it goes on throughout the day. And I'll tell you what, I don't know that I've been captivated by a story in a long time like this one was yesterday because the wheels just kept on turning and every couple of minutes there was something new in this story. There was some new information coming out, and then it ends, and thank goodness the police got there in time and saved lives potentially because it could have gotten really, really bad yesterday had the police not arrived and taken care of everything and gotten Sharon Moore into custody because who knows where he was headed at that point in time. But, I mean, what an unbelievable story that just reeks of privilege, and that's what I was talking to somebody yesterday about this story that was a former collegiate athlete. I said, look, the biggest problem that we have and how we get to this point, because everybody always goes, you have so much. Why are you doing this to give it all up? Here's what happens. When athletes grow up, they're told their entire life they're better than everybody else. Anything they do that's maybe not right, somebody cleans it up. They don't have a passing grade in algebra. The coach goes in, takes care of that. All of a sudden, that guy's got a C and he's playing on Friday night. And we raise our athletes to never, ever, ever have them have to face real life accountability. And we always have the wolf there that cleans this kind of stuff up.
Hey.
And then you start to push it and push it and push it, and the wolf cleans it up and cleans it up and cleans it up. Like, I can't imagine how many behind-the-scenes NFL stories we'd find out if you started talking to the cleaner on every team on what they had to take care of. And then you get to certain points where these athletes just push it too much because they've gotten away with everything their whole life. They get to something like this where you can't have somebody clean up your mess anymore. And so that to me is the biggest problem, is that for their entire lives, for athletes, we've enabled them. We've allowed them to get away with anything because they were stars on the field or the court or the ice. And then they get to become adults and they get to real world situations and they push the envelope so far that here we sit and there's nothing you can do about it. But it's because guys never face consequences along the way. They think they're above consequences. And so when something like this happens, I just look back and go, probably for Sherrone Moore's whole life, he was told how wonderful and great he was, never had to suffer a consequence for anything. So he just kept pushing the envelope. And here we are. I'm not blaming society for this. Society is a part of this. But also, I mean, this guy's a creep for doing everything that he did, in that Michigan football office and leading up to what happened yesterday.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that, I've seen stories that have, kind of, captivated an entire demographic of an audience. Obviously, sports fans. Yesterday, somebody in the text line says we were running towards an OJ 2.0. Mm-hmm. It's not a egregious statement there because of what was happening as it went on. You think about the OJ stuff, like, why is OJ fleeing from the cops on the freeway in a Bronco down, California highway? And then you find out, oh, there's 2 people murdered. Oh, it's his former ex-wife. Oh, there's a glove at the scene. Oh, my gosh, he's on the phone with, whoever and all this sort of stuff. So that yesterday is what the story was. Again, Sherrone Moore of Michigan out as their head coach because of what I would consider adultery, right? Yeah. Having sexual relations with a staff member who was also married with a family.
Oh, she was too? I didn't know that part of the whole story.
They showed the picture of her on the field when Michigan won it all, and she's got a wedding ring on.
Oh, I missed that one.
Pretty sure she is.
Oh, wow.
I need to do better research, but I'm pretty sure she was married with children.
Okay.
So... Yes, yesterday a very groundbreaking story as that was the case. He was relieved of his duty. And again, like myself and some buddies were hanging out yesterday, just watching TV and chilling during the afternoon. And, we all have the same net. Like, what the hell is Michigan? Michigan just fired their coach? Mm-hmm. Like, all these guys just landed jobs. Like, What are they going to do? Like, what an idiot. And then the story comes out that, he had been having this relationship with this lady. And you look at, that, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, maybe this is something that had happened in the past, and this was a year where Michigan didn't like what their results were, and they're trying to use this as an scapegoat to get them out of here. And then you hear the story kind of unrail, like you had said, like, then he shows up to her house, threatens violence, and then he's arrested, and you're like, okay, so this was like an in the now type of thing, like, hey, because from what I saw yesterday, from like reports that I had read from people that were reporting on the story, is they had an all-staff meeting. He was not invited.
Right.
Then he was informed, which normally when you have an all-staff meeting and the coach isn't involved, it normally means you're out.
You're out,
unless you're Mike McDaniel of the Miami Dolphins, who's thriving right now. And I think that's what happened. And then all of a sudden you find the little details out throughout the story. You'll see it all on Netflix in about a year.
Yeah.
But just a very wild story to let you know that nobody is invincible. Like you can't do bad things and get away with it. Like it eventually will bite you in the ass. And that's what happened yesterday. And now Michigan, no head coach. The vacancy is open. And obviously all the names are popping out. And the one that I thought was to make the story even more interesting is one of the names that pops up is Dave Portnoy. is same kind of collaboration. It's John Gruden.
Yeah.
Right. Dave Portnoy was the one that was like putting all these like tweets out because obviously big Michigan guy. But again, like you look at like what comes out of this is like you go from this guy committing adultery, losing his job, and wrecking violence to, well, maybe now it's John Gruden's turn. And then, you start thinking about other opportunities that could come up for other coaches. And now there's, reports out there that they're, going to go to Oregon and say, hey, Dan Lanning, like, hey,
yeah, right,
whatever you want. Right. But I mean, to be fair, Michigan is a better job than Oregon.
Get bent.
I don't know if that's true anymore.
Okay.
Oregon's got all the money in the world.
Yeah.
They got Nike.
No, that's
back
fair.
pocket. Yeah.
But also
totally
Michigan has Jordan Brand, too, which is a step above. Like Michigan
Big Ten. I don't know, man.
Michigan and Ohio State are two of the richest athletic departments in the country. I do believe that. I think if you look it up, Michigan and Ohio State are 1-2. Yeah, Indiana now all of a sudden, and hey, Utah maybe with the
That's what I'm saying.
BYU with the crumble cookies. But I think if you look at Oregon's up. I guarantee you Oregon's top 5. They may be top 3. It may be Michigan, Ohio State, and Oregon in no particular
Oregon,
order.
obviously. But I'm saying I think if you rank the jobs, I think Michigan would be one of those things where like, how do you turn Michigan down?
Well, I mean, you look at the Michigan job right now, and you just have to come in there and be a nice guy at this point in time, right? Like you just have to keep yourself
Lloyd
in line,
Carr
right?
alive?
Yeah, I don't know that
Can
he
pull
is.
a Bill Snyder?
Yeah, come back, and Bo Schembechler is long dead. But I think the interesting one for me that I really do hope happens, and this one came out immediately yesterday. I guess Kalen DeBoer is the top target there at Michigan, right? And apparently there was a jet that left Michigan on Thursday night and flew to Tuscaloosa last week before the SEC championship game. That's an odd flight, to go from the private airport of Michigan down to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So this may have been in the works for a while now. You wonder why Alabama performed the way that they did in the SEC championship game. Now it's all making sense. This coach was being courted by Michigan, and his attention maybe was not on that game. Now, I'm just connecting dots from the plane leaving Ann Arbor, Michigan, and the private airport that the university uses going to Tuscaloosa, Alabama on a Thursday night. Alabama plays Saturday against Georgia, lays in a massive egg. I mean, that was a massive egg that was laid by Alabama in that SEC championship game. Fast forward to Wednesday, Kalen DeBoer is now the top name that's being thrown around for the Michigan job. And if they did fly down there last week and start talking to him, well, then I think everybody knows why Alabama laid a big fat egg. But the interesting thing in the rumor mill that's going that I love, and I think you guys would love this as well, is Kalen DeBoer takes that job at Michigan. I don't know what the connection is there between him and Michigan. I was trying to do some research last night. The only thing I could think of is he's lost to Michigan twice in recent vintage. But
when he was at Washington?
When he was at Washington.
Sense,
but there's no, Michigan connection or anything like that. He does have some Midwest roots from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, but he's been linked towards that job at Michigan. So if Kalen DeBoer were to take that job, which I would suggest he does, that leaves Alabama open, and the rumor is Lane Kiffin would then leave LSU and go to Alabama. And then I would think, in my opinion, you just hire Coach O and get him back on the sidelines at LSU, because that's the way it worked. But the coaching carousel has an opportunity to be beautiful moving forward with this one.
Oh, man, I want Lane Kiffin to do that so badly.
So
that would
I.
be amazing.
Oh, it'd be the greatest thing ever.
That would be incredible. And, yeah, with Kalen DeBoer, all I've heard about the Michigan thing is that rather than it's something about Michigan, something about Alabama, I just don't think what I've heard is that he doesn't really love it there.
Yeah.
So he's open to a move. So maybe that is Michigan.
Well,
I mean,
it's hard for a northern guy to go south. It just is. I mean, it's a culture. Ask Brian Kelly.
Family.
Right. It's hard. It's tough, right? And so if he feels that way and doesn't love it down there, and Michigan's offering the job, I mean, what's a better job right now, Alabama or Michigan?
I would take Michigan, yeah.
Oh, I take Bama in a heartbeat.
See, I don't know the answer to that question.
Bama's a better job. I'm just taking Michigan because it's in the Big Ten and I don't have to play a D1 amazing 5-star school every week.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with the Big Ten being bigger now, I mean, you got Ohio State, you've got obviously Oregon, you've got Indiana's become a power now. Who knows what Penn State's going to be? I don't know where they sit.
They'll take
at this point in time.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of bottom feeders in the Big Ten. Yeah, there's no question about
in the SEC,
that.
you've got Vanderbilt.
They're good now.
They're good. Yeah.
I mean, all the recruits are going there.
Exactly. Like, there's no bottom feeder in the SEC anymore. Arkansas, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, who's the bottom feeder in the SEC right now?
Kentucky. Arkansas. But, they're
Florida.
Solid. I don't know.
They fired their coach, Florida. Yeah, it's true. I mean, but like South Carolina maybe. Or, but they all just fired their coaches, and so they're going to change things out and see what happens there. But I mean, this has the opportunity to be the most wild ride story that I think we've seen in a long, long time, and I just can't get enough of what's going on at Michigan.
Yeah, Sherrod Moore obviously out as Michigan's head coach, and the reason why he is incarcerated is because during an argument with his wife, Moore allegedly threatened to kill himself. He then drove to and broke into the home of the assistant, where he held a knife to his own throat and threatened to kill both himself and the staffer. He was intercepted at a local church after his wife provided phone's location to the authorities. He's now in protective custody. So that is the story we will rehash over and over today. Is the story of the day. Sherrod Moore out at Michigan. This guy flew under the radar in what was also a bizarre story, but for totally different reasons. We'll discuss that next on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is Chris Jones, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, guys, I got a favor for you to do. I want you to apply for $20,000 in a grant for your local high school. That's all I'm asking. Go to helpmymocanschool.com and apply for the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 $20,000 enrichment grant for your local high school. Now, you could be a high school student and apply for your school. You could be a high school principal, a teacher. It doesn't matter. Anybody that has any sort of connection to a local high school can apply to get the $20,000 enrichment grant from the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2. And it's back this season, and it's the largest high school enrichment grant ever. Like I said, $20,000 going towards one high school, towards upgrades and technology with no strings attached. And so people are thinking maybe it's just sports, maybe it's just this, maybe, and it's not. It's everything. Anybody at a high school that needs upgrades needs to apply for this enrichment grant right now. $20,000 towards upgrades and technology, and like I said, no strings attached. So nominate your school now at helpmymocanschool.com. That's helpmymocanschool.com with those sheet metal workers local number 2.
BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sports fans in Missouri can sign up for BetMGM using bonus code DUSTY and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet does not win. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day. Get into hockey, basketball, and pro football with features like live bets, same-game parlays, BetMGM rewards points, and surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. It's everything a sports fan could want in one app. BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sign up today using bonus code DUSTY to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Minimum deposit of $10 to participate. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
You know, there's millions of people without the health insurance they need. I get it. You feel like it's too pricey, a headache to deal with. You deserve something better. And better health. We're on a mission to get everyone high-quality, affordable health insurance. You have health insurance needs. We have plans with low out-of-pocket premiums, with in-network preventive care at no cost to you, and a network of local doctors and hospitals. So if you're still shopping for health insurance, go to ambetterhealth.com/enroll to get your free, no-obligation quote. That's ambetterhealth.com/enroll. For coverage to start January 1st, you must enroll by December 15th. Find the plan that's right for you right now. ambetterhealth.com/enroll. Ambetter Health, on a mission for better. Ambetter Health is the brand name for health insurance products underwritten by subsidiaries of Centene Corporation. Go to ambetterhealth.com to see offerings in your state. This is a solicitation for insurance.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM and check out all the exciting new ways you can make this football season unforgettable. Enjoy our all-new app design and same-game parlay builder, which will take your experience to a new level. Earn BetMGM rewards points from your bets. Take advantage of football promos found nowhere else, like a second chance offer on a first touchdown bet, and keep an eye out for rewards dropping in your account throughout the season. Never settle for ordinary. Sign up today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements, promotions may vary by market. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
At Shawnee Mission Ford, you get it all. Pricing on a great selection of new Fords, plus a lifetime powertrain warranty, along with the 1-year Select Plus protection. From America, for America. Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
East side, 435 northbound, very heavy this morning. You're hitting delays at 23rd Street, crawling at best. A lot of stopping and waiting to get up towards Winter with an accident at the exit where you're down to just the right lane getting by. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
What is your playing weight? What do you weigh right now?
Right this second? I'm not sure, Greg. How about that? That's an honest answer. And I will answer your question a little better on the playing weight, Greg. And not what it was when I walked off the field in Buffalo. All right? I can tell you that. But then I'll follow that up with I ain't never ran away from anybody anyway. Right? So I'm gonna. They people say, well, they're gonna know you're gonna be right there, and it's like, well, they knew that for 16, 17 years.
So that there is the Phillip Rivers press conference. Quite the humor there from Phillip. What's your weight? I don't know, Greg. Still knew his name.
I was thinking he was talking about the movie Meet the Fockers, where he goes, what would you know about Greg, where he kept calling him Greg all the time, That's kind of the way that I took that one a little bit yesterday, a little bit of humor from Phillip Rivers, but maybe the guy's name was Greg. So that's odd, too. I mean, we talked about the oddest story of the day was the Sherrod Moore stuff at Michigan, but Phillip Rivers coming back at 45. I hope, for God, he plays on Sunday afternoon, because I will be glued to the TV set to watch that guy go out there and play because of the unknown. It's you want to see it. It's something to grab onto and look at, It's something to watch. And so, God, I hope Phillip Rivers is playing in that game on Sunday.
Yeah, it's Seattle, Indianapolis. So
it's him or Brett Rippon.
I mean, you got to think it's going to be him.
You got to think. I mean, you don't go through this whole dog and pony show to have Phillip Rivers come on and just stand on the sidelines. And, if Indianapolis is still trying to win games, right? And a 5-year retired Phillip Rivers, or you said Brett Rippon is the guy that they have potentially as their starting quarterback right now. Who would you rather go with? And I think the answer is pretty simple. I'd rather go with the 5-year retired Phillip Rivers than going with Brett Rippon, because I don't think Brett Rippon is much of anything as a quarterback, and I want to see. It's curiosity for me to see what this guy can do under center.
We also got the lines out for the game. You want to take a stab at what Seattle's favored?
14.5.
14.
It's at Seattle. It's a 14.
14.
Yeah, 14. That's a big number. Yeah, that's a huge number in the NFL.
It's massive.
Against a swarming defense that Seattle has, and Phillip Rivers, I do like the fact that he's like, I wasn't getting away from anybody anytime in 16 years, 17 years. Not like that's going to be an issue. And then we also heard the story that Phillip Rivers had been implicating the Colts offense at his kids' high school practices, putting them in positions I don't know what's more cool is the fact that the Colts slid Phillip Rivers the plan, a couple weeks in advance, or the fact that you're just a high school kid and you're out there running the Indianapolis Colts, a pro team's offense.
That's
kind of cool.
That is fun for the kids to be able to do. But there's some connection with him and Shane Steichen, isn't there? Like they worked together in the past or something like that, and so he kind of knew the system that Shane had there, and whether he was doing it to stay fresh for the Indianapolis Colts or he was just implementing the offense that he kind of knew. Either way, it really is a cool twist to the story. And these high school kids, you talk about preparing kids. That's what you're supposed to do is teachers and coaches at the younger level prepare those kids for that next step. If they're out there running that college or the pro offense in high school, you know how much easier offenses are going to be for those kids as they matriculate onto the next level? I mean, they've already got that experience. They already know what it's like to hear how a professional play call sounds and what all that is and how to get ready to be a professional athlete. It's life experience that a normal coach just can't give high school kids.
Yeah, they're not just running it. I mean, Phillip Rivers is talking to Steichen every week, too, and asking him questions about it, and they're going back and forth. And I'm sure Steichen's maybe gained a couple of things, 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 gained
I love the fact that Phil They wanted me in this season. I felt wanted. So because of that, he went back to the Indianapolis Colts. It's nice, man. More people should try that. And 2 pump the brakes.
The quarterback, Riley Leonard, was a full participant yesterday, according to Tom Pelissero. So kind of a buzzkill tweet there for the Phillip Rivers saga. But again, I think if Riley Leonard can go, he's going to go. And if he can't, I think Phillip Rivers goes.
Yeah.
It also shows you that, they trust in him, that he can go there. And I don't know if this is like an ego move from Steichen where he's like, I just don't care who's my quarterback. I can plug them in and they can play. He did it with Daniel Jones. Riley Leonard got hurt, obviously, in his real first shot to do it. And again, was a full participant yesterday in practice for the Colts. But I do think it is an interesting story. Like the NFL always drops these little Easter eggs on you throughout every season. It seems to happen. Like somebody comes back. Like we heard yesterday, Jason Pierre-Paul is going to play for the Bucs, right? And it sounds like Mike Evans is going to be back tonight against Atlanta as everyone's playoffs start in fantasy football. Big week not to have the show. Obviously, the Chiefs play at noon, so sorry, Mac, but the franchise takes over. But your Twitter handle will be open if anybody has questions.
Absolutely.
This is first playoff week. So would you start a guy like Mike Evans tonight as we kind of go into that game a little bit?
I'm facing that question myself in one of my leagues, and I think I'm going to lean that direction, yes, because I think in the red zone he's going to play. I think his snap count will be like 50% of the snaps, but when it matters, he'll get points and he'll get targets in the red zone. I think he gets a touchdown tonight. I said that last week because I thought he was going to play. I'll say that tonight. It's a Falcons defense that's been okay, but it's a Tampa Bay team that needs a win tonight. I mean, their season's on the line.
Are the Falcons one of the most irrelevant teams, if not the most irrelevant team this year in the NFL? I mean, I think about it like, what do they bring to the table that's interesting for anybody at this point in time, right?
They're kind of a giant like question mark / enigma because they have easily one of the top 5 most talented running backs in football. Kyle Pitts, I don't know if that's now on him or if it's on the system or whatever, but it's got to
be on him now.
That's a huge conundrum because
he's not good.
He was picked 8th overall.
Yeah, he stinks.
He's like fine, but he's not 8th overall. Yeah,
right. And then you got Drake London, who's going to be out tonight, who's hurt, who should be good, and you thought Michael Penix was the guy.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously can't stay healthy as well. And so it's just irrelevant. I would say yes towards like the Arizona Cardinals or like a team like that, whereas like Atlanta's at least been like a playoff team. They played in a Super Bowl in recent history. They've at least been to 2 Super Bowls, I think.
Like this year, you hear really nothing about the Atlanta Falcons.
No, you
like,
just hear
the
about,
Falcons are still around.
You just hear about the Mustard Man, Dijon Mustard.
Yeah.
Dijon Robinson.
That's what they got. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be in the quarterback derby going into next offseason.
They will be.
I mean, I think they're going to have to be. Look, the quarterback position could be really shaken up this offseason. I mean, the Joe Burrow stuff yesterday, which we'll get into, is like that was eye-opening to me. Him basically pulling an Andrew Luck, it felt like yesterday, where I'm not having fun. I'm going to walk away.
Yeah, I hope he's doing all right.
I do too. I was concerned. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I watched that Joe Burrow stuff. I'm like, I feel for you, man. I got to know where you've been. We've all been in those, those rough spots in life, and you got to make decisions and figure things out.
I don't know if I can get up at 4:00 anymore.
Yeah. and Joe just seemed like he was down, man, yesterday.
Yeah,
down bad yesterday. So the carousel's going to change. The Jets are going to need a quarterback. The Falcons are going to need a quarterback. Arizona's going to need a quarterback. Miami will probably need a quarterback. I don't know how many guys are going to come out in the draft that can fill those spots. And back to Dusty's points, we're talking, we're potentially trading Mahomes.
Hey, look.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, the Niners are going to get a good little package for
Minnesota.
Mac Jones. Mac Jones is probably the number 1 QB target right now.
Yeah, but see that one for me, and I don't know
expansion.
Get more expansion. Is Mac Jones good because he had Kyle Shanahan? Or, did Mac Jones figure it out, too? Those are the questions that I kind of always ask myself. Are you the benefit of good coaching? Because Mac Jones wasn't anything great before he got to San Francisco, played under this guy who's been an unbelievable head coach. Kyle Shanahan continues to move up my rankings of head coaches in this league and continues to just impress. But you take him away from Kyle Shanahan, and then all of a sudden he's really bad,
So let me ask you guys 2 questions. Was Alex Smith bad, or was it Jim Harbaugh?
No, it was.
Then Jim Harbaugh reasserts his career, and then Alex Smith was pretty damn good for the Chiefs.
Okay, so I like that idea.
Was Sam Darnold, or was it Kevin O'Connell?
Yeah.
I mean, he's had 2 wide receiver ones that are legit wide receiver ones, but again, there's other ways to skin a cat when you can complain about somebody. But Sam Darnold, same thing. Mac Jones has had a decent year this year,
and Darnold also spent a year in San Francisco learning under Shanahan.
Does San Francisco take the cheap route? And do they trade Brock Purdy and say, Mac Jones, you're our guy?
Yeah, because I think San Francisco could go both ways this year. I really do. Like, I think if you're San Francisco at the end of the year, you just pick up the phone and listen and see what the offers are. And if somebody wants to give you more for Brock Purdy, well, Mac Jones showed you that he could play with this team in a limited capacity with, weapons around him, with everybody being hurt this past season for the San Francisco 49ers. Like, I mean, San Francisco's got a couple of good options right there. If they, like, I would think the better move for me, if I were the 49ers, or not for the 49ers, but for Mac Jones, would be to trade Brock Purdy and let Mac Jones continue on there in San Francisco. Now, you could say the same thing about Brock Purdy. If he gets outside of the Shanahan offense, does he take a big step back? Like, that's where I'm right now with this Kyle Shanahan thing. I'm more in love with the coach than I am with the players. And I really do think the coach has made the big difference, because you're taking Mac Jones and Brock Purdy, a nobody in New England that wore mom jeans on draft night, and a guy that was Mr. basically irrelevant, Brock Purdy. He was Mr. Irrelevant. And you've turned them into 2 really, really good quarterbacks that can go out there and win you a game on any given Sunday. Kyle Shanahan may be the secret sauce for both of those guys, and either one leaves that organization and they may, turn into a pumpkin again.
No doubt. This comes from Bleacher Report Gridiron. Chiefs are fighting an uphill battle to make the playoffs. There are 683 ways to be eliminated from the 5 seed. There's 1,562 ways to be eliminated from the 6 seed. And there's 411 ways to be eliminated from the playoffs. We asked Danon Hughes on Tuesday, is this a bad season?
I just don't. I mean, I feel like this is just a bad season, guys. Like, we won 12 close games last year, and we lost 6 of those this year. Like, and to think that an overhaul is necessary and we need to start relieving guys of certain duties, I just don't know that that's true.
Well, something will change in the offseason, because you've missed the playoffs with Patrick Mahomes at the age of 30. That cannot happen.
Right.
That just cannot happen.
That's illegal.
Fantastic word. There are times in life where there are certain things that just, like, if you have a reservation to a place that you need to be there at 7, you have to be there at 7 or you lose your reservation, right? This is one of those things where if you have Patrick Mahomes, at the age of 30, you cannot miss the playoffs. And we saw the video that went viral yesterday. I forget who it was that I sent you guys, where in the same week, 4 weeks in a row, in the same situation, Andy Reid ran the same exact play. And we go back to the audio that we heard of the Buffalo rookie say, oh, yeah, we knew they were running with Xavier Worthy's posture. Or we heard Chris Jones say about the Denver Broncos. They knew exactly what we were doing on 3rd and 16. Again, that's not the offense, but again, that's the predictability that I think has happened with the Chiefs. And in the one-score games last year, what we saw more often than not was that Mahomes had a chance. The only two that I don't think he had a chance in was the Denver game where they blocked the field goal, and in the Raiders game where the guy botched the snap, Aiden O'Connell, I think it was, botched the snap from the center because they weren't on the same page. Other than that, the offense had the ball last. The clock management was there. The execution was there when it needed to be. And this year, as Dana Hughes just mentioned, last year they won those games. This year they were 1-6 in those games. I think it's just like we have said all week. It's not like we're out here saying, oh, they need to move on from the head coach or, put some more, emphasis at the quarterback play. I don't think any of that's the thing. It's a hard reset. It's a check your ego at the door and look in the mirror and say, hey, they caught up to you. All right, now what we have seen from this Chiefs team in the past is that they figure things out and they move past it. There's multiple examples of that, right? Where they drafted, where they had a terrible offensive line. What they went and got Creed and Trey in the same draft. Right. Where they've had a bad defense, they told Bob Sutton to get bent, and they brought in Steve Spagnuolo and Tyrann Mathieu. We've seen where
and Frank Clark.
Yeah, and we've seen where the team has been, taken away from its number one asset in Tyreek Hill, where they couldn't throw the ball deep anymore. What they do, they got the ticky-tack sort of offense they run in in Barcelona, where it's just little by little by little, death by 1,000 paper cuts, right? And now this is another year where it's not a minute situation where it's like, oh, we can go draft big bodies and protect Patrick Mahomes. We can go find a left tackle in the offseason or whatever it may have been with Orlando Brown Jr. in the past. This is a season where it's a little bit more of a major hit, right? This is a category 3 tornado, right? It's not an F5, it's not a microburst, but it's in the middle of those two where it's like, hey, it's proven now that your strategy of bringing all these people back and sticking with the same sort of rhythm has not worked this year because it's proven that, right? And now in the offseason, it's a gut check moment for Andy. It's a moment of, what's this offense going to be? And it's also going to be like, hey, like our defense statistically has looked pretty good. Point-wise, yardage-wise is always going to be in the middle of the pack, but points-wise always in the top 10. But when it comes to it, it's like you're not getting off the field, which is taking the ball out of the offense, which is a domino effect of why things have gone soured in this season.
Well, I think there's a lot of room for improvement. I mean, when we were talking yesterday after the show and just kind of openly just having this conversation around the table, you really find out there's a lot of holes on this team right now.
Swiss cheese,
I mean, there's a lot of holes that need to be filled on this team. One of those holes is not the offensive line. I don't think there's any issue, in my opinion, with the offensive line. But there's issues in that wide receiver positioning group. There's issues, obviously, in the running back positioning group. There's issues on the defensive line. There's issues at the linebacker group. I mean, those are 4 major positions right there that you have to reevaluate this offseason. I don't think there's anybody beyond reproach right now in this organization other than the quarterback as potentially being trade bait, being somebody that you're going to cut, move on from. And, you talk to some Chiefs fans who are like, oh, it's not as bad as you think. We'll get some money back with Juwan Taylor. We'll get some money back with, that guy that they signed to play defensive back for San Francisco that never showed up here. Christian Fulton and all that kind of stuff. And so there are obviously ways to free up some money.
And restructure Mahomes' contract.
Yeah, you'll absolutely do that. But I think there has to be trades this offseason. I think there has to be a lot of roster shakeup because you're not going to bring back a roster that didn't make it to the postseason without having some major changes in it. And you're right, Dusty. Every time that they faced adversity and something didn't go right, they immediately fixed that offseason. And that's kind of been par for the course with this organization. And so those are my expectations going into the offseason, is that they are going to address all those problem areas. And I do think at times you may have to look at your position coaches and say, do we have the right guys in place? Like Connor Embry. I don't know who he is and why he went from a high school job to coaching in the NFL, the wide receiver position. I think it's showing on the field that we're seeing that maybe he is not qualified to be an NFL wide receiver coach. And then you look at the running back coach, Todd Pinkston, a former wide receiver in the NFL. Maybe he shouldn't be coaching the running backs, and maybe we mix that up a little bit. But ultimately, a lot of this does come back to Andy Reid, and I'm just very concerned that there's other guys on this roster that could have been playing to help this team out, and Andy Reid didn't give them that opportunity because Esapole and Noel Williams are the evidence that we have. How good could Brashard Smith have been in this offense this year? You know, I would have loved to see what that guy could do in this offense this year. And we really haven't been given that opportunity. How many of those guys are on the roster that Andy's just missing on right now?
And this was Dane and Hughes on if this team is worse than last year's team.
We're just 2 plays different than last year's team. And we're not better and we're not worse. The record is worse, but we're not worse. And I think because we were winning football games, maybe some things were brushed under the rug, and we thought we could win the same type of way this year, and that's not the case. Teams have caught up to us.
So there it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to make some change.
And teams have caught up to us. It took 10 years, basically, for teams to catch up to us. That's a hell of a run. We can't forget that.
And that's why I don't necessarily fully blame the Chiefs for the failures of this year, because no one had caught up for 9 years.
Yeah.
Like if you're the best Madden player in your group of friends for 9 years, why change your offense? Why change your team? Why change your hot routes? Why do all that?
You get complacent.
When somebody comes in and starts playing with the safety instead of the defensive lineman just bull rushing, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I got to look out for that now. That's all they got to do. They just have to reset, revamp, and then make sure you don't miss the playoffs with Patrick Mahomes.
That's exactly right. And I also think when you look at, where they are right now from an organizational standpoint, it's not like they're the Jets or the Giants or the Cardinals or anything like that. They still have a really good core. They just need to tweak it. And some of the tweaking could just absolutely come internally from Andy doing a self-scout and realizing his play calling maybe was a little bit different than it should have been this year.
No doubt. We'll get back into the biggest news of the day. That is Michigan's head coach, Sherrone Moore, getting fired for multiple reasons. We'll dive into that, plus a random head coach thought here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
This is voice of the Wildcats, Wyatt Thompson, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, as the wintertime approaches, guys, you know what that means. Bad roads, right? Icy roads, snowy roads, sleet-filled roads. And you know it also means accidents, right? Your car not starting to cold weather, all sorts of car issues you could potentially have. And when you do, you need to call my friends over at Jay's Southland Tow, because when you have car issues, they're going to come out as soon as you call them. You don't have to wait for an insurance company to be the middleman and to send somebody out. When you get into car trouble, you call Jay's Southland Tow. So I want you to put their number in your phone right now. That way you have it, because that winter weather is coming up. You've got to be careful out there, and you've got to be prepared. So put this number in your phone, 816-779-4TOW. That's 816-779-4TOW, or at southlandtow.com. And it doesn't matter where you are in the metro area, whether you're up north, you're out south, you're east, or you're west, Jay's Southland Tow Service is just a phone call away. 816-779-4TOW. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, and Tammy from the Weston, it's Jay's Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
Men, you need to look great for holiday events. Let Peter's Clothiers give you the perfect fit you're looking for. From sportswear to suits and sports coats and sizes to fit every man. PetersClothiers.com, or stop in today at 124th and State Line.
You know, sometimes you look at your house and you don't realize what you need to have done, right? You don't realize it because it's there every day. And then the weather changes a little bit. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, why do we have free air conditioning coming in? Well, that's not free air conditioning. That's bad windows. Or maybe it's a bad door. Or maybe you're looking at your bathroom this morning and you're saying, man, I just need to do something better and different. Well, my friends over at West Shore Home can help you with all of that, because home remodeling shouldn't be stressful. And West Shore Home is proving that it doesn't have to be. They have real-time scheduling and precise scan-to-plan accuracy that make your remodel fast, easy, and convenient. And that's why hundreds of thousands of homeowners have trusted West Shore Home to transform their bathroom, windows, and doors. Plus, right now, when you buy a full bath remodel, you'll get a second shower for free and lock in an extra $500 off just for listening to the show. So you need to schedule your appointment now at westshorehome.com/fan. That's westshorehome.com/fan. It's West Shore Home.
There are two kinds of guys out there: the hard-working, earn the victory guys, and the fake it till you make it guys. You know, the ones who build display cases for their participation trophies. This is Gene at House of Diamonds, and when those pretenders are out shopping for jewelry, they're probably shopping for lab diamonds, and that's sad because they've been sold a bill of goods, and no matter what anyone says, just like any pretender, You really can tell the difference between a lab diamond and a real natural diamond. So when she takes that lab diamond in for an appraisal and learns that you just gave her a participation trophy, well, that just might be the end of her participation. I've seen a lot of anger and a lot of tears. Guys, this Christmas season, I'm here for you. Earn the victory. If the love is real, she deserves a diamond that's real from a guy that's real. Come see me at House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Spreadsheets, clunky software, 100 different logins just to run your business? Ah.
There's a better way. Odoo. One simple, connected platform that handles sales, inventory, accounting, and more, so you can focus on growing, not juggling. Make the switch today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM and check out all the exciting new ways you can make this football season unforgettable. Enjoy our all-new app design and same-game parlay builder, which will take your experience to a new level. Earn BetMGM rewards points from your bets, take advantage of football promos found nowhere else, like a second chance offer on a first touchdown bet, and keep an eye out for rewards dropping in your account throughout the season. Never settle for ordinary. Sign up today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements, promotions may vary by market. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Looking to drive your finances downfield? Main Street Credit Union is the hometown team you can trust. We help you build credit, lower monthly expenses, and finance with confidence. Or if you need a loan to grow your small business, we've got flexible options and no hidden fees. At Main Street, it's not just about the win, it's about keeping Kansas City moving forward. One goal, 1 yard, one member at a time. Get in the game at mainstreetcu.org.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri side in Grain Valley, 70 westbound with an accident past the Buckner exit at about a 2-mile backup, with most of that crawling along to get through. Heading on the east side, 435 northbound, slow from 23rd Street up to Winter with an earlier problem that I think has moved to the shoulder. Belton, 49 northbound, very slow, crawling from Cass Parkway up to 163rd Street with an accident. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Bundle up on Sunday. We just saw from Miss Carly Ritter, the real one. Shout out, Miss Ritter. 7 degrees at tailgate. 7. You're going to earn that 7 o'clock tailgate.
Let's go.
7 degrees. Running routes?
Running some routes.
You're going to go show, what's that, Connor Embry?
Exactly, yeah. Show them what we need out there. No, it'll be fun. I'm excited. I want to watch Travis. I won't be here during Christmas, so I want to watch Travis one more time at Arrowhead. So I'm going to do that.
Yeah, there it is. That's why I've been telling everybody all year long. Christmas Day, you got to be there. Got to be there on Christmas Day. I think about it. I've thought about it since the schedule came out of what the emotion's going to be like in that building, and I started thinking about it because this is the first game I'm taking the whole family to is on Christmas Day, and I remember taking them to the last game with Haas and Moose and what that was like for the girls. Right, we were sitting there, and we had an old boss come down and eat all the kids' food.
He's like that guy in that Progressive commercial that gets caught stealing the kids' cotton candy on the Jumbotron.
It was worse. Yeah. I mean, he just sat down and helped himself and ate my kid's entire bag of peanuts. And we're like, my wife's like, I'm not going to say anything, obviously, but I'm like, I would be between the two of us. We're like, oh my God, sat there and ate the whole bag of peanuts. From just helped himself. Didn't even start eating the peanuts. I'm like, all right, fine, go do whatever you want. I don't care, right? You're paying the salary, so what do I care? But so they got the opportunity to go to that, and that was really emotional. And then they're going to have the opportunity to go to this, and this life's about those experiences and being able to say that you had that experience, to see Travis's last game or Kane's last game or Eske's last game or Moose and Haas, all those guys, their last game. I think they're important to go to and experience if you're, a fan. So you can have that closure too, like you get that closure as a fan on Christmas Day, most likely to say, take care, Travis, and we appreciate everything more so than you'll ever know what you brought here to Kansas City and what you did for this town and creating fans and becoming a great tight end, the Taylor Swift thing, like everything that Travis Kelce has done. I want to be sure that I'm there to say thank you for him in a small way by being there to clap and cheer for the guy.
100%.
So does the media. That's unnecessary. So I will say to your Moose, Haas, Kane, and Escobar thing, I was there. And very rarely does Vern let his guard down. He's always insider guy. Yeah. He'll tell me to be quiet in the press box. I'm acting like a fool. Or to do better. And I remember I was at that game. I covered that game. I believe it was an afternoon game, with Moose Haas.
Yeah, it was a Sunday game. Yeah.
And I went there, and he's like, oh, I'm really proud that you're here. And I was like, what? He's like, well, you should be. He's like, you grew up a Royals fan. This was the best team you'd ever seen, and good for you. And I never forget that moment. We sat there in the press box. They all came out. Everybody's eyes are just completely soaked in tears in the crowd. And, the press conference they had before the game and after the game with all of them at the availability there. So yeah, I do tell people to do that because I've done it. My dad made sure to go see Nolan Ryan's last game at Kauffman Stadium.
Yep.
I made sure to go see Cal Ripken's last tour in the Royal Stadium. And this is double feature here. Your own team and your own guy. The guys I mentioned are Ken Griffey Jr. He was in a freaking White Sox jersey.
Yeah. I went and saw Bonds when he came through. I saw Clemens pitch when he was an Astro just because I knew it was going to be probably the last time that I got to see him.
And then the other time is, an unfortunate game time is Christmas night. So, it's do you, is this the opportunity? Because I think right now I saw things yesterday on Twitter. There's lower bowl seats for $80.
Yeah, I'm sure there are.
So you got a pretty cool alignment of things planets lining up or, lower bowl, 2 people in your family, you two that, love this team and have loved what 87 has done. Like Mac had said, one of the athletes that he had seen get drafted in the 3rd round out of Cincinnati that's going to, go out after 13 years, maybe. Why not, go enjoy that? Because then I think it's interesting. Carrington brought this topic up the other day. He said people, or is either him or Rob, I think it was Rob, and they said that, our parents / grandparents are like, oh man, Lynn Dawson, Bobby Bell, Willie Lanier, all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When we're that age, we'll be like, man, for about 9 years, nobody touched us.
Yep.
And it was, Tom Brady and Joe Burrow and those damn Eagles one year. But other than that, Patrick, Travis, he was dating the world's biggest pop star and engaged to her. It was an announcement. All that stuff happened. And our kids would be like, shut up.
I think the stories we're going to regale our kids
and
with and grandkids with is going to be awesome.
And that also has layers to it where eventually you will get to that point where you will watch Patrick Mahomes put on that turtleneck for the last time and you'll remember all the moments. Yeah. And Travis Kelce's one of those where you'll go back and say I was there. And I had a guy reach out to me the other day. He's like, my Chiefs player was Derek Thomas. I watched his first game. Didn't really have the draft as it was back in the day in 88 or 89 when he was drafted out of Alabama. But again, he's like, I remember being at his last game, and I remember when the news came out that he had passed away on that car accident, that was full circle for me. That's somebody I watched get drafted, come in, be dominant, be a great Chief player of all time, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm with you guys on that whole sort of narrative to go check it out if that's something that you want to do.
Yeah,
because you should.
Emotional.
You should. No, I'm getting emotional sitting here listening to you talk about it. Because let me ask you this though: is it more emotional when Kelsey goes or when Mahomes goes? Because for me, it's Travis Kelsey. That's kind of where I am on this one. I think for me, I'm going to get emotional, but what he's meant to us as a football team, he's meant more to me as a father. And the whole Taylor Swift thing created a bond with my daughters that I did not have and did not have an interest in at all. And now I'm able to sit there with my kids and they mock me and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And Dusty said to me the other day, he goes, look, your guilty pleasure is Taylor Swift. But because of that, and that's why I love Travis so much, it's not much about the football as it is the off the field stuff with my daughters and my kids and the love that I have for them and the bond that's helped us create with the Taylor Swift stuff. They love when I butcher songs and sing, that stupid, they laugh, and just hearing them laugh and seeing all that. I wouldn't have had that part of that relationship if Taylor never came into our lives. And so for Travis, I'm always going to be thankful for that. He doesn't have a care in the world that it did that probably for me, but that's what sports is for me. And when we remember the great moments in sports, a lot of times, guys, it's not the games. It's who you were with. It was what was happening in the moment, and it was the great stories that come from those things.
Kind of to your reference, I think this is a really good point from the 816. Plus, we got to watch Travis Kelsey grow up from a hothead, from a college kid to an adult.
Yep.
Right? Are you crying back there?
Yeah,
he is.
Are you really?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Wow.
No, I'm glad you are. It's emotional, man.
I got drafted when I was 13, man, and I was that immature kid punching holes in the walls like we talked about, Dusty. And I watched Travis grow to like a man, and that's just
that's a great text because we have seen the entire arc of not just a career but life.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched this guy live his life here and go from a guy that was on a terrible TV show to get a date that everybody was mocking to where we are today, and he'll go down on the Mount Rushmore of this team, one of the greatest tight ends of all time, and then we'll see him for the next 20 years in the world, and we'll always know that's our guy. And Andy Reid gave him that opportunity because he called his brother Jason and says, he gonna behave. I draft him. And they brought him in here, and the guy has blossomed. I don't know another athlete that has blossomed and developed on and off the field like Travis Kelsey has here in Kansas City. We raised this guy, and now he's going out. And I was telling my daughters this the other night. I said, I got 2 more years. I was crying. I was a mess on Monday night. I've only got 2 more years to watch you and to be with you and to do all that. And that's kind of like we are with Travis Kelsey. You basically just raised a son for the last 13 years.
Somebody says, I have a signed 87 jersey that I plan on putting on in the fourth quarter while I watch him say goodbye.
I should do that too.
Yeah, dude.
My kids got Kelsey jerseys,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think like half the women in Kansas City have a Travis Kelsey jersey, dude. Kids, like young kids have Travis, like you said.
I mean, he may go down as the most popular Chief of all time.
100%.
Somebody says this is going to be really awkward when he doesn't retire and do this again. Well, we'll do it again.
We'll do it again. I don't care. He deserves all the flowers that he's getting.
100%.
Like, we'll get into the podcast that he did yesterday. My heart was crying for him yesterday because he's finally realized he's at a place, I just may not be able to do it anymore. And the realization of that sucks, man.
Yeah, but it's also like you don't have to be sad. Like you could also be like, "This was awesome."
Yeah, it's not sad. It's just emotional. It's not. I'm not.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that you can't be any way, shape, or form. But like, I think we all see. I think you guys, if you guys watched the Conan O'Brien but like the podcast he did where he lost his dad, and then his friend Jason Bateman immediately commented back like, "It was me."
Yeah,
and then his mother died and said, "Does Jason Bateman know where we live?"
Yeah.
So I mean, there's different ways.
Did you see his sister's thing yesterday?
So great, so great.
I can take Bateman.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
If you missed it, we could play it later, or we can shift you that way. But again, yeah. So we'll see what happens. Moving on with the season, but again, I think that there's a lot of work to be done, and there's a lot of questions to be answered. We'll get to that. Plus, what was the news of yesterday as Sharon Moore is no longer? Is that his name? Yeah, Sharon Moore. He's no longer the coach of Michigan due to having an affair with a staff member and then proceeding to go to her house and threaten to kill himself and her, now in custody. As we dive in more to that bizarre story that happened yesterday. Plus, we'll get into what the interest is for the Kansas City Royals, a name that you probably know. I'm serious. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Tune in to hear Mitch Holtis every Friday at 7:20, right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens, and that cool weather's moving in, that hot weather's moving out, but keep it hot in the bedroom. And if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction, just remember that ED is nothing more than a medical condition. Studies show that around 50% of men over the age of 50 have some form of the condition, and young men can be affected by ED as well. But what you may not know is that ED stems from a variety of causes, and these often call for differing treatment strategies. And that's what Heartland Men's Health does. Heartland Men's Health treatments work when the pills or the herbals fail. They have treatments with success rates well over 90%. Some treatments can even have you last an hour or more. Heartland Men's Health successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. So, if ED has been affecting your intimacy, schedule a consult with Heartland Men's Health today. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes a medical consult with a licensed medical provider and a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if the test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. They have an expert staff, and if you are like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Kansas; Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit; and in North Kansas City. So call my friends at Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or visit heartlandmenshealth.com.
Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
License number 2025-11121. Hey, Missouri, if you haven't heard by now, good news. FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State, and they're kicking things off with an offer that's tough to beat. Right now, new customers in Missouri can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or more, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So download FanDuel today and head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement. Remember, new Missouri customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. Because Missouri, it's time to play your game of FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-999-3339. That's 800-999-3339. Again, that's 800-999-3339.
Wayside rescues thousands of animals each year. Your gift today provides a complete circle of life-saving care they need to heal and find loving homes. Donate today, and your gift will be matched. Visit waysidewaves.org to make your life-saving gift today.
Chiefs coverage this past hour has been brought to you by waysidewaves.org. Save a life this holiday season.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
This season, enjoy stress-free comfort with easy booking and trusted service from Anthony. Save up to $4,500 on a new high-efficiency HVAC system. Schedule today at anthonyphce.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Belton 49 northbound, very heavy from Cass Parkway, just crawls all the way up to 163rd with an accident blocking the left lane. East side 435 northbound, slow from 23rd Street up to Winter with the problem still in the left lane. Earlier accident lingers. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
I'd be remiss if I didn't wish Dana Hughes a happy birthday today.
Happy birthday, Mr. Hughes.
Happy birthday.
Guy was looking fly at the holiday party.
Boy, he looked good, didn't he?
Him and his wife, matching
Yep.
outfits. We know what happened to me at the holiday party. Not the best. Who the hell is that? She's not. That's your wife, isn't it? It is. All right.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thanks, Alex. Really set me up for that one.
Well, there's only a 50% chance, right?
No.
there was
A
multiple
lot of
women
people
there.
were there, you know?
And
I'm saying if there's a woman, there's a 50% chance she works with you, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think you meant like married to this random guy that he was talking to or something like that.
No.
Well, see, I didn't know that she worked.
Well, I'm just saying there's a 50% chance.
Yeah. That's I see what you're saying. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. She either does or she doesn't. Yeah, it's one or the other.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Can't take Dusty anywhere, can you?
Not really. Like, literally, nowhere. New Orleans.
They can't go there. I mean, they're still getting you on for that Uber ride. I mean,
that got brought up at the holiday party.
Yeah, glad I missed that.
Almost a year later, and Roxanne's still like, what the hell were you doing? And everybody's like, yeah, what the hell were you doing?
We hung out Friday with, it was Aussie, me, you, and Vip.
Yeah.
And then the start of the conversation, the bartender's like, yeah, I've got a couple kids. I live down here. And the fact was, hey, if you come back here later, I get off at 8. That's not how that works. That's not how that works, honey. I'm not Sharon Moore. God, yeah. No, that's literally true story. And then there was was it Sneaky Pete's? Was that the the bar?
Sneaky Pete's.
Joey Chestnut shows up. You guys want a picture? No,
we don't.
want you to talk to Binkley.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to Binkley. Well, we don't want a picture. You got one guy who worships the ground you walk on that would love to have a picture with you, and a bunch of us in the bar who think you're a douche. So why don't you talk to the one guy who worships you? No.
I'd rather pick up on these cougars that don't have any desire to meet me.
Yeah.
You're a creep, dude.
Did he hit on you, Mac?
No.
Okay, because he was hitting on everybody in the bar. I think at one point in time, Joey Chestnut came up to me. I'm like, whoa, hey, Joey, what's going on? Do you want my picture? No, I don't want your picture.
Yeah, he was tanked.
Somebody says, Dusty's had one hell of a year. Don't forget Springfield. We did not forget Springfield. Lusty Likens. Okay, there you go. I did not hear Gold tell the story, so I don't know what his version of the story was, but we'll have him on the show a little bit later today about 9:17 for Golden Locks. Sometimes Gold needs to lock it up, leaving your boy out here hung to dry. But, that's how it works in this industry. We kid, we have fun. We're still best friends at the end of the day. Someone who's not best friends at the end of the day is Sharon Moore out of Michigan. The story that breaks yesterday, which is the head coach was fired from his duties. Originally, this is, I think, the timeline I can go along if I got it accurate.
Okay.
The staff and players had a meeting he was not invited to.
That was like at 8 a.m. Yeah.
And then he was brought in individually and fired because people talk, right, Alex? And people find out things. They'd find out that he was committing adultery and sleeping with a staff member.
I think it all came from the DoorDash driver, right? Like that guy kind of pulled the wool out.
And so then that happens. He's relieved of his duties. Once that's found out, he then, like a moron, drove to her house, then threatened violence on he and her with a knife to his neck, threatening to kill them both. And then his wife turns over his location via cell phone. They find his location at a church where he is then arrested and now in custody. We find out some other stories that he had a baby with this lady, and then they had gotten an abortion as well. Just a wild story. And he's out as Michigan's head coach. That vacancy is now open, and now all the theories roll around who will take that job. But the main point of the story is yesterday, when you do bad things can happen. And when you're an idiot and you try to take people's lives, well, then you're going to go to jail. Right. And that's exactly what happened.
You know, it's one thing to commit adultery and to lose your job. It's another thing to go and take it to the next step that Sherrod Moore did yesterday. And that was, you know, a day filled with bizarro stories, right? Like yesterday, it just kept going and going and going with this guy. And every 5 minutes, there was a new detail and something different that appeared on the Twitterverse. And I'm like, oh, boy, Twitter's all over this one. I mean, they started putting out her employment records and how she made $55,000 last year, and this year she's now making $90,000, right?
It's a decent bump.
It's a 55% bump or something like that they said. It was a crazy bump
Don't
in
make
salary.
it obvious.
I mean, but I mean, you start looking back on this kind of stuff. Now there's other stories coming out. We'll talk more about it with Ben Maller. There may be some heat coming for the athletic director as well. A lot of people say maybe he knew about this kind of stuff and was trying to hide it, you know, before and
not trying.
Did hide. I'm trying to be, you know, so I don't get sued. You know,
Boss new contract. You got a $60,000 bonus. What the hell?
Yeah.
Dusty's gone.
but you start to line up the dots and everything. And if this athletic director was complicit in all this, it was trying to hide. This is the problem that I have with high level professional sports, collegiate sports, and pro sports is that these people do horrible things, and yet everybody wants to cover it up because they can throw a ball, catch a ball, hit a ball, pitch a ball, whatever the case may be, slap a puck. It doesn't matter. Like we are in the business of, because you're good at sports, we're going to try to cover all this stuff up. And look at where it got Michigan yesterday by doing all of that and covering all of that up for however long it's been going on. Obviously, for a while, she got a $45,000 raise at the end of last year to this year. So you would think about this time last year they knew, and all of a sudden you're giving somebody in your office a $45,000 raise from 55 to 90. That's not going to draw a red flag from somebody inside the athletic department, the CFO or whoever it is. But they're all complicit together. All these athletic departments are corrupt, man. That's why I hope these BlackRock companies, these private equity groups come in, because when they do, like that's going on at Utah, and invest in these athletic departments, there's going to be a lot of folks out there that are stealing money and salary from these athletic departments that do nothing, that are going to lose their jobs. And they need to get rid of all of that low-hanging fruit, streamline these athletic departments, and stop wasting money, because college athletic departments are the biggest wastes of money this side of the government. I mean, it is insanity and a sin for how much money these college athletic departments, waste every single day on nonsensical stuff and paying hangers on to just be there and do all that kind of stuff. So Michigan, man, they're going to go through a lot, but that doesn't mean that job still isn't one hell of a job, No
doubt. I mean, it's definitely, especially where I think today or in the next coming days, the AD ought to be worried about his gig as well.
Absolutely. I think he's going to be kind of, on the next,
because what do they say? And I bring this line up all the time from Casino. Either you're too dumb to realize it or you're in on it. Yep. Either way, you got to go.
You got to go. That's exactly right.
That's, I think that could be the next thing coming, because that's what we saw yesterday. Once kind of the smoke had settled in this story and we kind of knew all the main details, it was like, also the AD at Michigan might not be having a job much longer either. You're like,
right,
so this is some interesting news. This comes from Mick Akers. I don't know who he is, but he's on Twitter. Looks like he's a sports business and transportation journalist at Las Vegas. Allegiant Stadium was the highest grossing stadium in the United States and second in the world in 2025, according to Billboard magazine. Mm-hmm. Allegiant Stadium earned over $281 million in gross revenue between October 24 and September 25.
That's free money for the Raiders to go out there and spend on free agents.
I was
that's
just trying
why
to
the
tie
Chiefs,
it into yesterday.
Yeah, but that's why the Chiefs need a new stadium, and that's why they should build a brand new stadium.
$81 million.
That's $280. Now they have to spend that money,
also.
Right? It's also Las Vegas. Yes, absolutely. But if you build these destination stadiums, then the people come to you, and you can have those events and make that money and do all that kind of stuff. The Raiders right now, you talk about an influx of cash that they're going to have. That money that they made right there, I mean, that's free money. They can go out there and get into bidding wars now for quarterbacks, because we've known for a long period of time the Raiders have been broke as a franchise, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's always talked about that.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, but now they've got all this money coming in, and that's why we need the new stadium for the Chiefs, because now you're competing with the Raiders, you're competing with the Chargers, and the Denver Broncos are getting ready to bring their new stadium on board as well. So you're going to have three teams in your division that have so many different and better revenue streams than you. You're behind the eight ball. football. I feel like if the Chiefs don't go into Kansas and build that new stadium, they're not doing themselves the best service to set them up for success, because the three other teams in your division all have brand new stadiums now and all brand new revenue generators. That's just 1 year alone that stadium made almost $300 million.
Coming up, it's Ben Maller, brought to you by The Landing in Liberty, and also Mac Maury, brought to you by Fescoe and Dusty, here with one word on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Bob Fescoe.
I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
And Dusty Likens.
He's a hoe, and I want that known.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, my friends over at QC Kinetics want you to feel better this holiday season, because the last thing you want around the holiday time is to be in pain and have those moments stolen away because you're upstairs with a knee, back, or shoulder pain. But all of that can change when your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help finding its way back. That's where QC Kinetics comes in. They believe that relief doesn't have to come from surgery or pain pills. They use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost, helping you move, live, and feel like yourself again. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery, just your body remembering how to feel alive again. And QC Kinetics delivers long-term relief, so it's time to take that first step, literally, to QC Kinetics, because healing is within reach. Schedule your free consultation today, and now's a great time to use your HSA or FSA for treatments. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, it's QC Kinetics.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Underdog are ready for you. It is Thursday night, and football season's in full swing. And however you like to get in on the action, you can do it on Underdog right now in Missouri. And this season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $75 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Plus, with Underdog's ultra-fast payouts, you can get your profits in a snap. So download the app today and use promo code BOB to score $75 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all on Underdog. Crypto.com predictions powered by Underdog Predict. Trading derivatives involve risk and may not be appropriate for all. For more information, visit www.nadex.com/rules and underdogfantasy.com/rules. For Crypto.com predictions, the term pick refers to a product traded on CDNA. Must be 18 and over and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms /_DFS.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A., member FDIC.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Listen to the Chiefs and Chargers on Sunday with pregame starting at 9. Kickoff at noon with Mitch, Danon, and Kling. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. KFNZ FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey sports station.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110. Guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
800-676-1090. 800-676-1090. 800-676-1090. That's 800-676-1090.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Felton 49 northbound, the accident at 163rd has cleared, but still pretty heavy from before Cass Parkway. Once you get up past Missouri 58, you're back to posted speeds or thereabouts. Heading up on the east side, 435 northbound, still very slow from 23rd Street all the way up to Winter with an accident blocking the left lane. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
It is time to talk to our friend Ben Maller of Fox Sports Radio. Of course, you can catch him overnights right here on 96.5 The Fan. And Ben, I'll tell you, we start with the biggest news of the day, of the night, of what happened yesterday. Sherrone Moore over at Michigan, man. What a wild story. What's your take on this one?
Hey, they say the naked city doesn't sleep, and I was up all night. I could not get enough of the story. It's amazing. Like that's got to be in my life. That's got to be in the top 5 in sports, worst days you could possibly have. He started out as the head coach at Michigan. By the end of the day, he was in police custody, and he had lost out on $14 million. And you got to think his entire marriage and all that, that's all over too. I mean, that's like the worst possible day you could have, and it was all captured in real time. The vibe I got, I want to see if you agree with me on this, Bob, was Manti Te'o. Remember when that story broke that day? Like every couple of minutes, you're refreshing, you're trying to get new information, and there was something new. The only difference is I think these are actually real people, unlike that. But it's the same thing. It was like the feeding frenzy. It's like people are leaking stuff. You're getting text messages about this, that, and the other thing that are popping up online. You don't even know. By the end of the day, I didn't know it was real. We were texting each other a little bit, Bob. I was like, I don't know if that's real or not. I don't know if I should go with that. Like the woman who was involved, the other woman, like apparently her father works in the NFL. So, I mean, that was out there. It's just bananas. It was like Jerry Springer meets Big Ten football. It's crazy.
Well, and that's what happens, Ben Maller, as he's brought to you by the Landing and Liberty. It's one of those deals where stuff like this happens and then the internet starts digging. It reminds Dusty and I all the time of that documentary that came out on Netflix, Don't Mess with Cats, you know? And those people go behind the scenes and they start doing all the Lord's work for everybody, and they break these cases wide open. That's what yesterday was like for me.
Yeah, it was very similar. I agree. Like, because I saw the story. I woke up, I sleep during the day because I do the overnight show. So I woke up and I got a few text messages that Sherrone Moore was out at Michigan. So I thought, okay. And I read the first version of the story. I said, okay, well, that's not good. And then I went on with my day. And then it's like people start texting about, wait a minute, I missed that. And then I picked up my phone and I was like, I could not get enough of it. I spent about 2.5 hours just refreshing my phone trying to find information. But initially I thought, okay, that's it. He did something he shouldn't have done. And bad job by him, but he'll get another job. And then by the end of it, it's like, okay, who's going to hire him? He better get a job with the Chargers or else good luck. And now what does Michigan do? Like the whole carousel thing's over with.
Well, yeah, that's the best part about it. Kalen DeBoer to Michigan, and then Lane Kiffin leaves LSU and goes to Alabama. I got my fingers crossed for this.
Oh man, that would raise this up. It's already like 1 to 10, the Sharon Moore story, because we're not involved. Of course, if we were involved, we wouldn't say this. But 1 to 10, it's like a 27. You know, it's like it's just absolutely crazy. And you want to bet what happens with him? Let me guess. Rehab? What do you think? He's going to go to like some kind of rehab or something like that? Alcohol or something? I don't know. That's the first thing they tell you to do. Got to clean up your reputation and blame it on something else. And maybe he does have a problem. I don't know. But that's going to happen. And then obviously Michigan's going to hire their coach. And then now there's some rumors. One of my callers who's in Michigan in Ann Arbor called me overnight and said the athletic director is in trouble at Michigan. So this could be a 2-for-1 situation that since Jim Harbaugh went to Michigan, I think they've had 7 people arrested in the football program. That doesn't seem particularly good. What do I know? I just do an overnight show, so it doesn't seem great to me. But, yeah, so this could be just the beginning. And most of the time, I believe in the iceberg theory that we're only getting about 10% of what's actually going on. There's a lot more stuff under the surface, and it just depends how much of this stuff's going to come out. But I'm there. I'm going to get a big bucket of movie theater popcorn, and I'm going to enjoy what's coming next.
Yeah, Ben, I think it's interesting, too. You look at, since Jim Harbaugh left, what the coaching carousel has been at Michigan. I ask because I do want to know what your opinion is, because I think we both kind of like lean towards this way. Is this the door that we talk about the show Stranger Things a lot, or I guess I do, and it's all about portals and doors. Stranger things have happened. We're in strange times in Michigan. Is this the portal that opens it up for John Gruden?
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I think that the problem there is they're going to try to hire somebody who's clean, right? That's no skeletons. I don't even think that exists anymore. But they're going to try to find someone that's like, and this guy, Sharon Moore, by the way, was, he was acted very religious. Obviously, everyone's got a good side and a bad side, right? There's two sides to everybody. I think Gruden, even though it's email stuff, I think he's got too much baggage for. I'd love to see it, though. I'm right there with you, Dusty. I thought Gruden was going to get one of those SEC jobs, like the Arkansas job or something like that was open up, or the Florida job, and nobody's willing to touch him. He's still too toxic. But that would be the perfect guy for a couple of years. The energy that he would bring and the excitement that he would provide, that'd be a perfect hire for them.
Talking with Ben Maller, and Ben, as all this is going on in Indianapolis, a 45-year-old is coming out of retirement to play quarterback who hasn't played in 5 years. Did you think the Phillip Rivers stuff was a joke too?
Yeah, I did. I thought when somebody sent me that, I was like, okay, that's funny. I thought it was like Sports Talk Barry or one of those satire sites on social media. But I like it. I love the fact that we were all praising Jim Irsay's daughter, saying she's different, No, she's the daughter. She's following in the footsteps of her old man. The old man's across the pearly gates, but that's a Jim Irsay move. That is a total Jim Irsay move. The guy that hired Jeff Saturday to be the head coach off television and high school football and all that. And, listen, it's great. The only problem with this Disney movie is Phillip Rivers is not a good big game. He's not even a Hall of Famer. People are talking about him delaying his Hall of Fame resume. He's not even a Hall of Fame. He was a stat compiler with the Chargers who was never an All-Pro. Like, I don't want to bury the guy, but he's not a Hall of Famer. And so if the Colts were to actually win something, then that would put him in the Hall of Fame. But, hey, I'll be watching. I was not planning on watching the Seattle-Indianapolis game in the rain in Seattle this weekend, but I will be watching. I'll be flipping to that game when I'm sitting on my tuchus, with the magic box. I'll be watching that because of Rivers. I better watch it early, though, because I don't know that it'll be there past halftime.
I think the biggest story, Ben, this weekend is Josh Allen. I think he is the focal point of the NFL at this point, with Mahomes basically taking a back seat this year. The Chiefs in their, failure of a season, technically not over, but it's Drake May, it's Josh Allen. Drake May wins the last game. I know Drake May is good, but again, Drake May is not Josh Allen, at least not yet. And this is a year in which no Burrow, no Lamar, no Pat, nothing in your way. You're the old man in the room. It's all kids around you, except Aaron Rodgers. But Is Josh Allen, is it this year or never for Josh Allen?
Yeah, it certainly seems that way, Dusty. You look at the field, and we've talked about it every week. I come on here on Thursdays. It's like there's no real dominant team in either conference, but they're just in the AFC to get back to go to Northern California for the Super Bowl if you're the Buffalo Bills. The issue with Josh Allen, though, is not Josh Allen. It's the defense. They're not that great defensively in Buffalo. And Josh Allen's had some big turnover games, but ultimately, yeah, if they don't get it done this year, it's like, are they going to fire the coach, the head coach? Going to make some changes to the roster? They obviously have to make some changes. But things are not good in Buffalo when they brought in a wide receiver who asked to be released by the Saints, and then signed a guy who retired before even reporting to the Bills. So they were literally digging in the dumpster to try to find guys to fill out the roster, which, what do I know? Doesn't seem like a great idea. It doesn't seem like they have a lot of confidence in the roster based on the moves the Bills front office was making after the trade deadline.
Yeah, and we may not see Joe Burrow, to kind of pick up on Dusty's point a little bit, maybe after this year. I mean, that reflective press conference yesterday has to put the fear of God into the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, I think he's going to ask for a trade. You can't walk away from a $275 million contract, right? I don't buy that. I think he would demand a trade somewhere. I tossed out the rumor about the Rams because they have 2 first-round picks in next year's draft, and Stafford could retire at the end of the year, and so he wants to win. You can come to L.A., and then there's other possibilities, obviously, also. So I do think he'll not be in Cincinnati. If this continues the way it's going, why would you want to stay there? But here's the problem with that. He was the one campaigning to sign T. Higgins, and he was the one, you got to sign my guys. And for the most part, the Bengals actually did. My entire life, the Bengals have been the Roach Motel. They actually spent some money, and it doesn't matter, and it still stink. So what good did that do?
Yeah, it does give Andrew Luck vibes, but I also just think that's Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow, Joe Cool. I think like we talked about earlier about, people being fake and not being real. I think that, it's fine to say stuff like that. I mean, I know people are going to take it and run with it however they want, but I think he's right. Look, the guy's had 6 injuries in 7 years. They've all been somewhat kind of catastrophic. You had 2 ligament injuries in your knee. You had turf toe, which wasn't super serious, but the wrist injury. But I also think that it's just a guy being raw and open and honest, and I don't think that we see that a lot in sports, let alone in life. Like you walk by guys in the office, Ben, and they're like, "Hey, how you doing today?" And they're like, "Another day in paradise." That guy might be getting ready to go through a divorce. You don't know. Or there's the guy that's like, just kind of down. And it's either up to us to kind of ask the question or not, or just let it play out and take our own opinion. So I kind of think he's just being an honest human being, and I think that just depends on – it is – I will say this. There is a little bit of a minor orange flag when you see a guy come back. You think everything's great, just has probably the game that ruined the season and the worst second, 2 plays of his life. But I don't know if it's walking away, though.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna walk away. Although the one thing that did annoy me, and by the way, you're much more trusting, Dusty. I think everyone that talks, I think they're giving us a version of the truth, not the whole truth. Even Joe Burrow. But the line he said,
I still think there's BS in that pie, but I think there's more truth to it than the normal pie that we are spoon-fed, if that makes sense.
I got you. Yeah, but his line about if it's not fun, why am I doing this? It's work. You have a much easier, try working in the sewer. So, you know what I mean? I don't want to be that guy, but compared to most jobs, you've got a pretty good job. You're making a ton of money. You practice a couple hours a day. You play 1 day a week. You play in the game. That's in terms of if you were to look at the big board of fun, that's pretty high up on the big board of fun. Even when you're on a bad team, it's still, you hang out with your buddies, you're traveling around the country. That seems like it's pretty high up on the big board of fun.
A lot more fun than what's going on in Michigan.
Well, they were having a lot of fun, Dusty, in Michigan, but, a little too much.
A little too much. Ben, before we let you go, who wins the Super Bowl?
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to go to Vegas and I'm going to bet all my money because I have all the answers, Bob.
That's right.
Why, doing an overnight show, I have all the answers, clearly.
Right. Well, enjoy your weekend of Army, Navy, and college basketball and the NFL, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, guys. Thank you.
That is Ben Maller of Fox Sports Radio, brought to you by the Landing in Liberty, where right now Biggs Bob's Pretzel is outselling the Ben Maller chicken fingers at a rate of 3-1.
One word.
First name is blank, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No. Ah!
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fescoe and Dusty.
1, 2, 3.
Oatmeal raisin. Rubbing it in that I can't whistle. Is that what it is?
I didn't know you couldn't whistle.
I used to be able to whistle, and then I couldn't anymore.
You can't anymore?
It's an
Yeah.
annoying
Interesting.
habit. People hate whistlers.
Yeah.
I know, that's me.
People hate whistlers. They hate ice chompers. They hate smackers of gum and soup sippers.
I'm an ice chomper.
I do like to chomp a little ice. You
I
know,
do.
they always say you're a little frustrated in the bedroom if you're chomping
Oh,
ice.
I didn't know that.
I haven't chomped ice in a while. I just want to win, Jen.
Chomping ace.
Jumping ace. All right, Joe Burrow, you guys talked about it with Ben Maller. Just his press conference had some weird vibes. Let's listen to a little bit of it and go one word.
No, it certainly doesn't change my desire to win. You know, if I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. You know, I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for?
What was the changing point?
Changing point. I'm not sure there was a singular moment or of time. It's just reflection on a lot of things that I've done and been through in my career. I think I've been through more than most, and it's certainly not easy on the brain or the body. So just trying to have fun doing it again.
You seem like there's something on your mind. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it seemed frustrated.
There's just a lot of things going on right now.
Football related, personally?
All the above.
One word there, all of the above, when asked about if that was personal related or football.
Reality is the first word that I use. Like, we got a real glimpse into a football player yesterday. 99.99999% of the time they stand up there and they tell you it's one day at a time, and they give you a cliche and you don't hear anything and don't care about anything and whatnot. And then you have a guy open up to you like that. If nobody in that organization has talked to him and approached him and comforted him after that press conference, that Bengals organization sucks. And they should all be embarrassed in public, because that was a cry for help if I've ever seen one by somebody. And I say reality because the reality is a lot of times guys play sports because they're good at it, not because they love it, right? And that's what they're capable of doing, and that's what they do better than anything else on planet Earth. But it doesn't mean they're having a lot of fun doing it. And it sure sounded like Joe Burrow is at kind of a crossroads, guys, with where he is and what he wants to see. So it was deep yesterday for me with him.
Yeah, deep's a good word. Honesty is a word I'd use. Reflection is a word I would use. I think it's kind of, to me, it's kind of vague. Like, no one really had a follow-up question like, well, are you not having fun anymore? It's like basically telling you, like, hey, here's how I feel. This is what's going on. Like, if I stop having fun, then I'll stop playing football. You do kind of, like we talked with Ben Maller, get the vibe of Andrew Luck there. But again, I don't think that's what it is, because I don't think he's had, like, concussions. It's been like, knee surgeries and Achilles and wrists and turf toe. It's not like it, and maybe it's...
That's a lot, dude. When you just named all that, I'm like, holy cow, that's right. It's like every year.
Yep.
Yeah, so that would be my one word, is just honesty. Good for him to let it out.
Yeah.
This was his first fully healthy offseason as a pro, and then, of course, we know what happened once the regular season began. Another injury for Joe Burrow. That wasn't the only NFL player to get real. Our guy, Travis Kelce, on his podcast, he didn't speak to the media after the game, but had some time to think about it, and this is what he said on his New Heights podcast, just talking about, maybe I don't have all the answers that I used to.
Like, I've always had the answers in years past, and this year I just can't find them. And I keep thinking, if I show up to work and I put in the work and I fix the issues through my practice habits and through perfecting the game plan and my fundamentals and what I'm being taught, and go out there and try and play my ass off for my guys next to me, it's all going to come together like it has in years past. And this year's just not, man.
The one word for me is time. You heard right there Travis Kelce basically telling us, in my opinion anyway, I've reached the end. Everything that I used to be able to do, I can't do anymore. Every time I used to be able to find solutions I could, now I can't. That's the realization that it's time to step aside. It's time to go on to that next chapter of your life.
My one word is reality, and I think that's what's hit Travis Kelce, is that doesn't mean that I think that he's 100% done, but if you want to play the Joe Burrow audio and dive into what he's trying to say, and then you listen to that audio and try to hear what he's trying to say, I would say that, yeah, that's where it is. I can't fix all the problems I used to be able to fix. I'm trying to do this. It's not working. And then you see the demeanor on his face, and you're like, man.
And then you hear Danon the other day, birthday boy Danon Hughes, talk about watching Travis before the game and him seeing him kind of take it all in. And then you hear that on the podcast yesterday. Like, if and when Travis retires at the end of the year, I don't think anybody should act surprised and, oh, my God, I didn't see this one coming. No, it's been coming probably now for an entire year, and now he's in that reflective mode. Now he only has 2 more games left at Arrowhead, this Sunday and Christmas Day, and then that's it. So if you're going to one of the next 2 home games, man, keep your eyes on Travis, because it may be the last time you get that opportunity to see him at Arrowhead Stadium as a player.
How about the biggest story of yesterday? It's bled into today. Still the biggest story right now. One word on the Michigan coach situation with Sherrone Moore. If you don't know, then I don't know where you've been, but basically it's somewhat still alleged that he did have an affair. He is married with 2 kids, and in that affair, this woman got pregnant as a Michigan staffer, forced her to have an abortion, and then this all came out and went to her house and threatened to harm himself and her, and now he is in custody. One word on Sherrone Moore.
Tragic is the word that I'm going to use there, because there's many lives that have been affected by this. A lot of this stuff obviously did not need to happen, but it goes back to the tragedy of the way that we raise athletes up in our world and create situations where we're always going to be there to bail them out of tough situations, and then they get into stuff like this and they've never had to pay consequences. They never had to suffer repercussions or, suffer consequences for their actions, and now we're here and this is what it leads to. A lot of this stuff can be stopped by not giving athletes free passes their entire life with grades or whatever the case may be so they can play on Friday night. Because the more you do, the more you get away with, the further you think you can push the envelope. So it's tragic to me.
My one word would be help. I think that's what this man needs. This is not the end of your life. This is not the end of your world. We're all sinners. We're all going to sin. The goal in life is to sin less, right? You're not going to be sinless your whole life, but sin less. And that's something that this man needs to figure out. He's still under the age of 40.
Yeah.
Yes, this is probably the end of your coaching career and anything like that, but it's not the end of your life. Get help, seek help, ask help. That goes out to anybody out there. It's never this bad. It's never this bad.
No.
You've got options. You've got ways to seek things out. And you just don't put other people's lives in your hand. Just don't do that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. And we'll take you on the text line, too. If you need to reach out, man, we're here for you guys and gals and whatnot. And you can send us DMs. I've talked to a lot of people DM on Twitter and whatnot. If you have something bothering you, you need to have a conversation, feel free to shoot a text in, and one of us will answer it and send it back and, figure out how you're doing. And, always know that you've got the 3 of us. If you're going through tough times, you can always reach out. And Sherrone Moore obviously needs the help. I think Joe Burrow needs to talk to somebody, too, and have a real conversation about, what's important in life right now. And for Joe Burrow, football just may not be important. Maybe playing for Cincinnati's not important for him anymore, too.
Coming up next, Smash or Pass is brought to you by Booth Creek Wagyu, Casey's Best Steaks, now with 2 locations, 95th and Nolan, 135th and Metcalf. Also, Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Online at Shawnee Mission Ford. Remember, when you hear the sounder, call number 5, tell Mac he's awesome and that you love him. And you have a chance to get a $50 gift card from Booth Creek Wagyu as we get into Smash or Pass on the other side here at 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Smash. Good morning, Kansas City. This is Trey Smith, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at West Shore Home are saying, hey, it's time to call us and get that home project started right now. They're going to save you money, and they're going to get it done on time. And that's what you want, right? When you're doing remodels around your house, you want your project to start and finish in a timely manner. And over at West Shore Home, they can help you with all of that. In fact, they can help you with a lot of projects around your house. Now's the great time to figure out if you need new windows, because if you feel that cold air coming in, you definitely do. Do you need a new front door? Maybe you need new doors on your bedrooms. Well, West Shore Home can help you with that that as well. With real-time scheduling and precision scan-to-plan accuracy, they make your remodel fast, easy, and convenient. And that's why hundreds of thousands of homeowners have trusted West Shore Home to transform their bathroom, windows, and doors. Plus, right now, when you buy a full bath remodel, you'll get a second shower for free. And now you'll want to lock in an extra $500 off just for listening to the show. But here's what you need to do. You need to schedule now at westshorehome.com/fan. That's westshorehome.com/fan. It's West Shore Home.
BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sports fans in Missouri can sign up for BetMGM using bonus code DUSTY and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet does not win. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day. Get into hockey, basketball, and pro football with features like live bets, same-game parlays, BetMGM rewards points, and surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. It's everything a sports fan could want in one app. BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sign up today using bonus code DUSTY to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Minimum deposit of $10 to participate. Rewards are non-withdrawal or bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
Hey, you already know that there's nothing like a custom design and crafted jewelry treasure from House of Diamonds. A one-of-a-kind creation built from scratch for a one-of-a-kind love. But sometimes you have a need for speed. This is Gene at House of Diamonds, and just in case custom jewelry isn't in the cards, we have a case. Actually, we have 19 cases filled with some of the most beautiful handcrafted jewelry you'll ever see. Earrings, rings, bracelets, pearls, pendants, and fine gemstones. A lot of it we created in our shop. All of it carries our name with the quality and craftsmanship you've come to expect from House of Diamonds. And any item can be tweaked and customized just for you. Think of it as Custom Express. Custom Express or custom from scratch. Get it at locally owned, family owned House of Diamonds. House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
800-676-1090. 800-676-1090. 800-676-1090. That's 800-676-1090.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
This holiday season, give your family, clients, and coworkers the gift of Booth Creek Wagyu beef. Booth Creek Wagyu gift boxes provide the world's best steaks, burgers, hot dogs, jerky, sausages, and seasonings that are changing the way America eats beef. Choose from mouth-watering options like the classic sirloin box for less than $100, or go big with the amazing Grill Masters Reserve box. Order yours today at boothcreekwagyu.com or visit one of their 2 convenient locations at 95th and Knoll or 135th Street in Metcalf.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Heading into downtown, 35 northbound, slow around the state line. Then once you get up towards the Southwest Trafficway merge, it's heavy and then sluggish up to 670. Then it bogs down. It stays pretty heavy up towards I-70. There's an accident on the ramp to go eastbound 70, blocking the left lane. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Back in it on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Now remember, and I hope a lot of you are out there like a lot of people say they are, where you are pumping up your gas, or maybe you got your window down for some fresh air because you let a little toot out or something like that. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't stand your own brand, but when you hear this...
Finally, I'm one of those guys who can't wait to get to work in the morning. Like a dairy cow.
Oh! Oh! Oh, yes! Yes!
When you hear that in the next 5 or 6 minutes, you will be caller number 5. You have to do 2 things. You have to tell Mac that he's awesome.
Mac's awesome.
And that you love him. Because we know he's the favorite on the show. There's no secret.
Yeah, come on.
No,
Run away.
There's no secret.
Yeah, right.
Heavy is the head who wears the crown, Mac. So, smash or pass, where we do some meats and some veggies and some food. Would you smash or pass? A lot of these you can find on X because we just get bored in the garage and all of a sudden we're like, dude, would you smash these? Meat pie.
It is basically take your fruit pie and stuff it with meat.
That's
Are
a
you
pass.
in, or did you see the picture?
Immediately why I said pass.
Okay, yeah, it's a pie.
Have you seen Sweeney Todd?
Yeah.
That's what makes me think.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I get
There's
that.
There's a finger somewhere in there.
Yeah, I understand
or a
that.
fingernail.
Yeah, it's ground meat with potatoes and onions baked in a pie crust, and you slice it like a pie. I would think with some brown gravy on top of that, be pretty damn good. I mean, you don't like meatloaf, so I understand why you would pass on that one. I would smash that. I would absolutely. I don't want to make that thing because it looks too complicated with the pie crust and all the meat and all that, but I would smash that if somebody served that to me with some brown gravy on top.
Yeah, that looks good. Some ground pork, some onions, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, some ground cloves, some mashed potatoes. Yeah, I'm in.
You're in on that. Yeah, it's
I'm
a
in.
nice, I feel like a nice cold day dish, you know?
Hearty meal.
Yeah.
Ugh. What is this? Mincemeat pie is awesome. It's like the ultimate pot pie.
I've never had mincemeat pie before.
There's probably a reason for that.
Yeah.
I like those. Have you gotten the shepherd's pie from Costco that's the size
Oh,
of your
yeah, I've gotten that
wheel?
one time. Yeah, yeah.
Whew. Meat pie is big in England. That's why they serve at all the football games. Oh, well. They also serve baked beans on top of toast for breakfast.
Beans and toast?
Yeah. Cheeky. This one comes from Cuisines on Twitter. You can find it. Oh, babe, dude. All right, never mind. Back to it.
Smash.
Hot honey pepperoni pizza grilled cheese sandwich. Can we all say it at the same time? 1, 2, 3.
Smash.
Yeah, dude.
The only I wish it wasn't called a grilled cheese because I don't eat grilled cheese, the normal grilled cheese. But this isn't a grilled cheese. This is a pepperoni and cheese sandwich that's covered in cheese and then covered in pepperoni, drizzled with more honey, covered with cheese. It's like that standard hot honey pizza, type thing. They got the cup pepperonis on the outside of the sandwich. The pepperoni and other meat is stuffed inside the sandwich.
Did that not go on at the worst possible time, right when the babe's starting to cook it? Is that prosciutto?
It's prosciutto. It's
mozzarella.
Yes.
I mean, it is just.
Blaze the hot honey.
Yeah. Look at that beautiful cross section.
I mean, the cheese on top, the cupped pepperonis. It's all cooked on a flat top, then drizzled with hot honey.
Classic hot honey.
Classic, yeah. It just looks incredibly awesome.
Are you a cup pepperoni guy?
I love cup pepperoni.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's a niche.
I love it.
It is. If you have cupped pepperoni, I am buying your pizza. I'm just a sucker for that. There's certain things I'm like, I'm in.
I'm going to piece of Tasio later today, and I'm going to get the cup pepperoni.
There you go.
I'm not doing that.
Have you ever had beans on toast? No, I'm not, and nor have I. And of course, the common text, you've just never had the right meatloaf. I get it. This comes from the Buffalo Bills. This is a no for me, dog. It is a frosted flake, crusted chicken breast between Belgian waffles and drizzled with a sriracha maple syrup. Pass. A, it's too much. B, it's sweet and salty. C, I'm good.
I would take the sriracha maple syrup off and just go with a normal maple syrup. I'd take a bite of that. That's about all I would do probably on that. And then it's going to taste really good, and I'd finish the entire thing.
Exactly. Yeah, one bite, you're going to love this. I'm smashing. I will say at a football game, though, I'm not ordering
Especially
this.
Buffalo. When
It's hard to eat that. Yeah.
Just give me a sandwich.
I mean,
just something quick.
Especially as Dusty was saying, this time of year, you got your gloves on. How are you eating inside the stadium?
Sure,
I mean,
top
it's
of the trash
impossible.
can right outside the line.
That's true. Yeah.
So my buddy's dad used to do all the time. They would never sit in their seats. They would give us the tickets, and we'd go into the game. We'd sit in their seats. They would buy like 15 beers and put them on top of the trash can and watch the Chiefs game on the TV. And just pound beers right by the trash.
That's awesome.
Yeah, frat dads,
That's
dude.
hilarious.
Straight up.
What year was that?
Probably 2003.
Yeah, that was one good year to watch it, but most of that probably time was.
It was like between 03 and 06.
Yeah, if you get after 03, it was probably like, we don't want to watch this crap.
Boys, go enjoy the seats.
Stand by the trash can.
Go enjoy the seats, boys. Papo's Pizza in Lee Summit has an amazing hot honey pepperoni pizza. Got to try it. I will have to do that.
Well, it's the standard, you know.
Of course, everyone's
Dusty,
got
do
it.
you have the same palate as gold? Are you kidding me? I have. That is the worst text I've ever gotten in my entire
insulting.
life.
Yeah. No,
He's not 10. I just don't like sweet and salty. Yeah, I don't think mashed potatoes get served on ice. So you guys, you said you would smash eventually, right? You said-
Eventually, yeah, probably.
Farewell season Bud Light, a Blizzard brew coming to Buffalo Bills fans. I don't want to drink that. That sounds like depression in a can.
They're taking the snow that fell earlier at the stadium this year, and they're using it in the beer. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool novelty thing. If I was in Buffalo, I would buy that.
Would you drink it, though? So then you're passing if you wouldn't drink it.
I'd take a sip just to see what it tastes like, but I'd have it for the can. I'd buy a 6-pack, keep one can, drink one, and then pass the others
Sounds
out.
like something that'd be on the Hereford House menu.
And the can itself is really cool. It says it's the white Bud Light
Yeah,
can.
the can
Blizzard
looks
brew.
cool.
Yeah, the can is really cool. So
Yeah, what do we got here? A couple Bills fans.
Yeah.
People rooting for Josh Allen to win the Super Bowl over here.
It says farewell season on it, brewed with snow from Orchard Park for one last sip of the Bills Mafia tradition. They call it Blizzard Brew, you know?
No, that is cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
unique. It probably doesn't taste any different, but it's all about the marketing and the can and all that kind of stuff. I think they did a really nice job with that at Bud Light.
I've got a non-food smasher pass for you guys. We talked about it off the air before the show started. We obviously been talking about this team needs some wide receiver help, right? Mike Evans is a free agent after the season. Would you smash or pass Mike Evans?
How old is he?
He'll be 30.
Same age as Mahomes, right?
Is he? I was going to say a little older. I was
Or
going to say
not
33.
Mahomes. Same age as Kelsey.
Okay, yeah, so-
No, not 36. Gosh, he came out in the Manziel draft, right?
He'll be 33 next year. Yeah.
I mean, that
well,
sounds
you need a-
desperation to me.
You know what? Honestly, I'll smash.
Okay.
Because what do you need? You need a 6'5" guy that doesn't need to go out there and do everything great, just needs to be inside the 20.
Yep.
Watch him tonight on the broadcast on Thursday Night Football. Mike Evans will be out there, but he'll
100%.
be most effective when Baker sees the 25-yard line and moving forward to the end zone. Over the top, snag. And he's only really been injury prone this year and a little bit last year. Because remember, he had 10 straight years of 1,000 yards receiving.
I mean, I would like him as a throw-in, if you get what I'm saying. Like, that can't be your only addition.
It's also got to be cheap.
It can't be the
has to be
only
cheap.
move that you make. Oh, we signed Mike Evans. Nah, that doesn't count.
No, but he
That's
could be
not
like
doing
the
it.
back end of all the moves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if he's and Mike Evans,
right?
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm
I get
cool
that.
with that because they need to address the wide receiver position from top to bottom. That whole position needs to be stripped.
Yeah, he can't be the plan.
No. No. And that's kind of my fear a little bit
He
is
could
that
be
they bring him
plan
in.
C.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Absolutely. Or D or, whatever it is. I mean, but that means you've got a lot more work to do, this offseason, whether it's trading Rashee Rice or, getting a wide receiver in the draft or, making another trade for a wide receiver, whatever it is, man. The Chiefs are going to have to be active this offseason. And the interesting part, though, is how many teams are going to want to be active with the Chiefs. I mean, we've known that a lot of teams
no one
aren't
fears
trading.
anymore.
Well, but now that they've got it, they want to keep them down. So why am I going to do anything to try to help you get better? So they're going to have to attack this offseason probably like they've never attacked an offseason before. And if Mike Evans is part of it, I'm fine. If he's the only one, I'm not satisfied.
You thought Mac freaked out on the live stream when they got DeAndre Hopkins midseason. Imagine what Mac would do if they got Mike Evans midseason.
Let's go.
I know that I'm hard.
Finally, I'm one of those guys who can't wait to get to work in the morning. Like a dairy cow.
Ah! Oh! Oh, yes! Yes!
That's right. Call number 5. You tell Mac he's awesome and that you love him. You got a chance at a $50 gift card from Booth Creek Wagyu because that was Smash or Pass brought to you by Booth Creek Wagyu. Casey's Best Steaks now with 2 locations, and also they're on 95th and Nolan, 135th and Metcalf, and Shawnee Mission Ford on a mission to do more online at Shawnee Mission Ford. Coming up on the other side, we dive back into the story of the day and yesterday here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
This is Fescoe and Dusty. Tune in to hear from ESPN's Nate Taylor every Thursday at 8:20, right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, it is that winter travel season, and you know what that means, snow and ice and all that kind of stuff. And if you're flying out of town, you want your car protected, and that's why you have to park at Park and Go, because at Park and Go, they have all covered parking. That's right, every spot is covered, and every spot is eligible for a discount when you prepay when you book at bookparkandgo.com. So if you know you're flying out of town this holiday season, make your parking reservation right now at bookparkandgo.com. And like I said, make sure you prepay, because when you prepay, you save that money. Then get there on the day of your flight, give them that reservation, and they will direct you right to the parking spot that they have reserved for you. That is covered, and the van meets you instantaneously and takes you right to the airport with no hassle at all. And when you get back, it's great. Just grab your bags, walk outside, and the bus is there. Jump on it, and they'll take you right back to Park and Go and the trunk of your car. So do what we did and join their frequent parker program and earn points towards free parking. Reserve your spot today at bookparkandgo.com. The best deals in parking. Bookparkandgo.com. Park and Go, family owned and operated.
Men, it's the holidays, a time of love and joy. But if you suffer from erectile dysfunction, the season can be tough on you. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you and your partner are experiencing struggles because of ED, change it up this year. Give the best gift you can give to the one you love by treating your ED and restoring your relationship. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts at treating ED. And as a Prometic restorative health practice, we've literally seen countless thousands of relationships renewed across the nation. Plus, with treatments having success rates well over 90%, coupled with many treatment options, we can likely find the right one for you. You may even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us and give your partner the best gift you can give this season, a renewed, restored relationship. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in our office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. We'll help you find last-minute gifts that don't look last-minute, even if you're still planning to propose. At Shane Company, we'll show you perfect gifts at perfect prices, in stock and ready to give. Like hand-matched diamond studs, 14-karat gold chains, or the ultimate gift, a beautiful engagement ring. We have longer store hours, so you can skip the crowds and shop when you want, or visit us at shaneco.com. Because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
The world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips has arrived in Missouri. Circus Sports is sports betting the way it should be. With high app limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service, Circus Sports is better for the better. From football to basketball, college sports to pro, start betting like the pros in Missouri. Built for sports bettors by sports bettors. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Must be 21 or older. For problem gambling, call the Problem Gamblers Helpline at 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, Chiefs fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Kansas City Chiefs. And this season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/royal rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
You don't need to be a financial MVP right out of the gate. At Main Street Credit Union, we're here to coach you through it. No matter where you're at, lining up for your first play or deep in the game, we'll help you move the ball forward. From building credit to launching a business. Because here, it's not just about money, it's about progress and having a team that's got your back. Learn more at mainstreetcu.org.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew a Halloween costume would change my life and lead me to Renner Garage Door? Renner's KC's go-to team for service, repair, and replacement.
RENNER, RENNER.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
At Shawnee Mission Ford, you get it all. Pricing on a great selection of new Fords, plus a lifetime powertrain warranty, along with the 1-year Select Plus protection. From America, for America. Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
35 northbound gets heavy at South 7th Street Trafficway. Stays very slow crossing the state line up towards Penway. And then it moves better, then bogs down again at 670. Stays very heavy to I-70 with an accident on the ramp to go eastbound. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
What's up, Kansas City? It's Nick Bolton. Tune in on game days to hear the play-by-play with Mitch, Danon, and Clean on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, it is time to name that Chief. We do it every day at this time this week, and we get a qualifier. And of our 5 qualifiers, one lucky winner on Friday will win a $500 gift card from our friends at Hy-Vee. All you have to do is know the name of this Chief when Mac plays the highlight, and then be caller number 5 to 913-586-7965. That's 913-586-7965 when you know who this Chief is.
Cleveland out of timeouts, and the Chiefs are going to go 3-2 with an empty backfield. Now they're going to bring Darrell Williams trotting to his right. Ball will be snapped in the center of the field, and wants to throw it. He's scrambling and comes to the near side. He's at the 40, 45, 50. Dives. He's close to a first down at the 49-yard line. Really, really close. Jumps up and waves his arm toward the stands.
All right, caller number 5 right now will qualify to win that Hy-Vee gift card. We'll announce that winner at the end of the week, 913-586-7965. Be caller 5, and you will qualify to potentially win that gift card tomorrow.
Here we go. Start your Christmas dinner plans early.
Hell yeah, you can. Let Hy-Vee do it all, too, man. They got their dinner platters out there. They've got roast beef. They've got turkey, ham, all the trimmings, everything you want. Just get into Hy-Vee and order your platters now.
The news yesterday, which took over the world, was Sherrone Moore knocked off Michigan's staff as their head coach. He was fired. And for reasons of committing adultery with a staff member, which has a zero policy, or zero tolerance policy, I should say, then threatened to cause harm to her and himself as he went over to her house, kicked the door in, put a knife to his neck, and said he was going to kill himself and her. Then was intercepted by authorities because his wife had shared the location from his cell phone. They found him at a church, and then he was taken into custody. All of that came out yesterday within about a 3-hour window.
Yeah.
And it was not all of that in order. It was Michigan has fired Moore. He is no longer the coach. Michigan has fired Moore because he has slept with a staff member, and we have a zero tolerance policy on that. Okay. Theories start to chase. How long has this relationship gone? Was this just the year they finally let the cat out of the bag? No. It clearly had been going on, but word had gotten out. And we had talked to Ben Maller about it, and people start to talk, and people start to share information. And then they have what comes out a little bit later is an all-staff and player meeting that he was not invited to, which is never great. Unless they're planning your 40th or 50th birthday party. They were not doing that. They were planning his departure and letting people know, which I think is a big move on Michigan's part. Kind of clear the air, clear everything together, and be like, hey, here's the deal. Here's what's happening. Before he knows, we're letting you guys know. So in case anything does go wild, which boy did it.
Yep.
Then he is found out a little bit later. The meeting happened around 8 o'clock-ish in the morning. Then he is told of the repercussions that he will face for doing this. He then drives to the house of the mistress, threatens to kill him and her with a knife to his neck. And then we find out that he had also impregnated her in the past and had her get an abortion. Snowball that quickly went down the hill fast and gained a lot of momentum. And Michigan is walking away from it. I think from what I have read and what I have followed, in the next coming days, the AD might be joining him in the unemployment train.
Yeah, because there's a lot of reports out there that maybe the AD knew a lot about this before it went on, for a year or so that this has been kind of going on at the University of Michigan. There's a former quarterback out there on Twitter who's been kind of tweeting about this for the last week and that this was going to happen. And he's a guy from the 60s, right? He lives out in California. It's nobody you know. And this guy was telling me, because I was the first California, it wasn't telling me, he was telling Twitter, I was the first California quarterback ever recruited by Michigan. This was back in the 60s. And people are well, how do you know anything? It's because I got sources that are all over this. And he's been kind of talking about this, for the entire weekend leading up to kind of where we are now. So there are probably some investigations that need to come out there to find out how much the athletic department knew and when they knew. And the other thing that is a smoking gun in all of this, that this has been going on a while, is that this staffer that, he was allegedly sleeping with was making $55,000 a year last year. And then this year was making $90,000 a year. You don't normally get a raise from 55 to 90, a 45% increase in salary, right? I mean, that's just not something that's normal. And if you're in the athletic department and this guy says, hey, I need to raise this office worker salary from $55,000 to $90,000, if you're that CFO or whoever is in charge of the money, the comptroller in these athletic departments, aren't you hitting a hard stop right there and going, what is going on? Why are we raising somebody's salary from $55,000 to $90,000? So everybody's complicit on all of this, right? The financial guy who's in charge of paying the checks, the athletic director. I think Michigan needs an entire house cleaning because, Dusty, as we continue to peel back this onion, and it's going to get peeled back by the internet and everybody on X, it's going to get worse and worse for the University of Michigan. And we're going to start to find out, I think anyway, there's a lot more people involved than just the coach and just this office worker and potentially the athletic director, because there's checks and balances that did not take place in Michigan. You cannot, on any circumstances, give anybody that sort of raise and it just fly under the radar where somebody in their right mind doesn't go, what are we doing here? Why are we giving this secretary this money? And if somebody comes to you and says, well, it's hush money, as an athletic department official, you're now complicit in all of that, and you're guilty as well.
It's kind of the same thing if you aid a fugitive, right? Those guys that left the New Orleans prison. Somebody was giving one of them money. Well, when you're doing that and you're aiding a fugitive of the law, you also get in trouble.
I thought you said ate a fugitive.
No, aiding a fugitive. No. But no, it's it goes to that. If your buddy's hey, will you drive me to this bank? I'm going to rob it. And you're well, at least I'm not robbing. No, you're
an accomplice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I do think there is going to be some, you talk about the Chiefs having a hard reset. Michigan hit their button yesterday, and they're all right, what else has to happen? Because I've said it earlier, and I've said it 100 times. It goes back to the De Niro quote, Ace Rothstein and Casino.
Yeah.
There were 3 jackpots sitting on the same floor. Either you're in on it or you're too dumb to realize it. And either way, you've got to go.
That's right.
Right? That's what got Patino out of Louisville. They were running the thing at the frat house. And he's like, well, I didn't know about it.
Yeah, well, you're
the
in charge.
head coach of the men's basketball team in Louisville. How the hell do you not know anything and everything that's going on?
That's exactly. And even if you didn't, you're still responsible for that. You really are. And the head coach at the end of the day, whether it's Andy Reid, Bill Self, Bill Snyder, Gary Pinkel, whoever it is, at the end of the day, you're responsible for everything that happens inside your program. And that comes with the salary, and that comes with the title, and that comes with with being that head football coach or basketball coach or the manager of a baseball team. And so I am going to sit back and watch this this thing happen like it's nobody's business and grab the popcorn, Dusty, because today we're going to see more names. Today we'll probably see the athletic director kind of punished. And again, a lot of people knew this may have been coming because people were tracking a flight last Thursday, a week ago, from the private airport that the University of Michigan uses to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Who's flying down there last Thursday night, unless you're talking to Kalen DeBoer about potentially coming to the University of Michigan? And if that happens, then Lane Kiffin could be rumored to go to Alabama. And boy, I'm hoping for that, man. That's fireworks if Lane Kiffin leaves LSU without having a practice to go coach at Alabama.
By the way, Lloyd Carr is alive.
He is?
He is 80.
All right.
He was 80 years old. Last time he coached was 2007. But hey, last time Phillip Rivers played football was in 2020, and he might be starting on Sunday.
That's right. Yeah.
Coming up on the other side, I want to get to what Jay Binkley had to say. Plus, we get into our fat guy guilty pleasures as well here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is Trent McDuffie, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Hy-Vee are going to make the holidays so easy for you, and they're going to help you save money as well. Everybody's feeling the pinch, right, of the prices out there right now. Well, Hy-Vee's doing their part. I walk up and down those aisles a couple of times a week and see all the lower prices around the stores, and Hy-Vee's trying to help everybody out by always finding ways to save me money, and the amazing fuel saver deals are what I love the most. Shop Hy-Vee this Friday and Saturday and get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount when you spend $60 on groceries. So stack up the savings on Hy-Vee fuel saver deals, and your next fill-up could even be free. I'm up to 67 cents right now on my fuel points. I love getting it up over $1 and seeing that pump roll back. It's the best thing out there to save money, and you can do it this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more. You are worth more, and your car is worth more at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Well, my friends over at QC Kinetics are saying it is time to feel better, right? We got the holiday season here, and the last thing you want to do is have pain keep you away from all the fun that you're going to have with family and friends. You don't want to be upstairs while the party's going on downstairs because your knees or your back or your shoulder are aching. You need to see all my friends at QC Kinetics right here in Kansas City because they believe relief doesn't have to come from surgery or pain pills. They use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost, helping you move, live, and feel like yourself again. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery, just your body remembering how to feel alive again. QC Kinetics delivers long-term relief to make the new year pain-free. It's time to take that first step and schedule that appointment with QC Kinetics. Get your free consultation today, and it's a great time to use your HSA and FSA for treatments. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, it's QC Kinetics.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. Your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Missouri. You can get in on all the action with fast withdrawals, a safe and secure app, and betting that's easy to use anywhere you go. And the best part, DraftKings keeps the excitement going with awesome promos and offers all season long. That's why it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't wait. New customers sign up today. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Let's go, Missouri. Get in the game.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give.
Yes!
And receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Hey, it's Brian Baldwin here. Makita knows that pros never settle. Get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. When you shop Makita at the Home Depot, these tools don't just meet expectations, they redefine them. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly designed to deliver precision job after job. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best, available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-583-5795.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Kansas side, 435 eastbound, heavy from 69 highway out past Antioch. Also pretty slow crossing the state line, 35 northbound. Hit delays at South 7th Street. Traffic way stays slow up to Penway with an accident. Slow in downtown approaching I-70 as well with an accident on the ramp to go eastbound. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Guys, we're back here on Fescoe and Dusty with Mac Morey.
Not nearly
Fescoe.
as loud as Cody's recording.
Boy, yesterday I think was like, you think yesterday everybody kind of pulled the Band-Aid off the Chiefs season? Now, I know there's still a possibility that they could make the playoffs. They have to win out and other things have to happen as well. But again, I thought Mahomes said it right in his press conference or with Carrington yesterday, saying basically, yeah, it just sucks when everybody else controls your destiny, right? In the past seasons, it's been, well, we're either going to be the 1 seed or the 3 seed. Oh, my gosh, the Chiefs are going to be a 3 seed? Woof.
Right.
They were in. This season, it's not going that way for obvious reasons. And Binkley, who was on last night on After Hours, but also on our show as well, he's got some theories on what you can do to make this team better.
Who would you draft first? And our first mock, we did have him go defensive line in the first round. But the more you think about it, and you ask people, what about wide receivers? What about wide receivers? Because you have an elite quarterback, and the chances of this town ever having a quarterback like this again are slim and none, to be honest with you, with this success rate that he's had. But when Kelsey leads this team in receiving yards like he did last year. When he walks off into the sunset, probably after this year, who are you going to throw to? Because Hollywood Brown was supposed to be here 1 year. He got hurt. They brought him back for another year. That deal hasn't panned out. Xavier Worthy, I don't think he's been the same guy since he ran into Kelsey on play 3 in Brazil. Rashee Rice needs to pan out for this team because next year, honestly, look at the Chiefs' wide receiving stats. If you want to see something where they need a lot of improvement, look at their wide receiving stats. All these people say, well, they don't need a wide receiver. They're fine at wide receiver. They're not fine at wide receiver. They're not.
So that's one thing that, Connor Embry was the name that you have kind of like developed to say that might be the problem because this, like I've said all year, it reminds me of like the Chiefs season, right? The Chiefs had a What'd you say? A World Series pitching rotation and a minor league lineup.
Yeah. The Royals, yeah.
Yeah, the Royals. The Chiefs have a all-pro MVP quarterback with D1 wide receivers, at least this year. It looks that way with drops and missed routes, and maybe a few injuries can be plagued. I ask you guys the question, and I hope you're ready for this question. And text line, you feel free to answer this as well. 913-586-7965. I mean this, and I just want to have a barstool conversation at the bar top. Would you trade Rashee Rice in the offseason?
Yeah.
Wow, you didn't even think about it.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I'd trade anybody on this
Yeah.
team right now except for the quarterback. I mean, that's kind of where I am. And if the
Left tackle and Josh Simmons, you trade?
No, probably not.
That's
him.
the only other guy I wouldn't
Yeah,
trade.
I'd probably think
Creed
about
and Trey?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would trade one of those two.
Yeah, I would. There's a lot of money invested in those two
much.
guys. I mean, you're probably right about that. And I would probably lean to trade Creed more than Trey because I think
agree.
Trey's a better player than Creed is, and you can find a center. The Chiefs have done a nice job of finding centers since Andy Reid has come in here, whether it's Mitch Morris or Creed Humphrey. But, I think this offseason, it's an old Seinfeld bit, and he said, we're cheering for laundry, right? And that's really the way that you have to look at sports. We're cheering for the Chiefs jerseys and the hats and the helmets and all that kind of stuff. The players come and go. I mean, every year it's 30 new players that roll into town for any NFL team. So when you go into this offseason, don't have the mindset of, we can't trade this guy. We're coming off our worst season in 11 years. We're coming off a season that I think most fans are ready to be done with, right? I get that feel like most fans are just, they're at peace with where this team is and they're ready to move on, right? They really are. And so I think this is the offseason because fans do have that kind of mindset going into it. This is an offseason where you can go out there and should go out there and make those moves. You're not coming off the Super Bowl anymore where you're like, well, we just might as well keep everybody together because we went to the Super Bowl last year. This is a great opportunity to have a blank canvas and basically take your entire roster and go, all right, let's rank everybody. Who do you want to keep? Who's available for trade? And then you rank your guys on who you think can get the most back in trades, the most valuables, or Rashee Rice and obviously Trent McDuffie on the defensive side of things. I would try to foist Chris Jones on Dallas and try to get some kind of picks back, in return. Like literally, other than the quarterback and probably Josh Simmons, everything is open for conversation. Every player is open for conversation about potentially being traded or moved or cut because you're coming off a very unsuccessful season in Chiefs Kingdom. You've got to change things up. There's no reason to run this back, and they won't. They always make great changes when they fail, and that's why I'm kind of excited for this offseason because this is the biggest failure we have seen this organization make in this regime and in this generation. I'm anxious and excited to see what they attempt to do this offseason and how much Clark Hunt allows them to do this offseason.
Yeah, I also think Binkley said something yesterday, too, about how Rice, whether we like it or not, the Chiefs kind of need him to show up. So
Sure.
Would I trade Rashee Rice? Yes. Should the Chiefs trade Rashee Rice? No, because the Chiefs wide receivers for 2026 are Xavier Worthy, Jalen Royals, and Rashee Rice. That's who's on the active roster for next season.
EGE.
They need Rashee Rice to be good. And frankly, we can talk about the drops and how we had high expectations for him. I don't think he's going to be that top 10, top 15 guy like maybe we thought he could be. But from a talent perspective, we need to be realistic. He's a good player. We're down on him right now here in the Kingdom, which makes sense because the big-time drops, that fourth down drop last week legitimately ended the season.
Yeah.
I get it. He's on pace for 1,300 yards. He's a damn good athlete. I think they need to at least keep him here for now, but they need someone for next season.
Can I make an analogy real fast to something that I'm dealing with in my life right now? I've talked about my daughter having some struggles in math, and we went and got her a tutor. Why can't Rashee Rice get a wide receiver tutor this offseason? Hire a wide receiver coach, a specialty coach. I know those guys exist out there, and they probably have, access to some of the best out there. But Rashee Rice needs to find a true, legitimate coach because this Connor Embry guy is no business coaching wide receivers in the NFL. How's a guy supposed to tell players what to do and how to do it when he didn't even play that position? Now, I'm not you have to play in order to coach guy, but when Connor Embry's a young guy, doesn't have much experience coaching, went from high school to the Chiefs coaching staff, how is that enough knowledge and enough real world and life experiences as a coach to get guys that are kind of your same age to play better? So I think this offseason, Rashee Rice needs to invest in a private tutor to get him to play that position better. Find the best wide receiver coach out there and go hire his ass to make you better.
So I can kind of answer that question because of what I've heard and what's been said is that it's been Travis Kelce. Like that's been his like sort
Mentor.
of guy.
Yeah,
That's like
yeah.
try to tell him like, hey, like they're gonna try to have you run similar routes to this level. This is what you're gonna try to do. This is what they want to do with you. This is what you could do. To play devil's advocate in the arbitration world, where people say 1,300 yards could have some superstar caliber, moments. Off the field issues have been there.
Yep,
we know that. Injuries have been there. We know that. I understand the injury was a freak injury, but since
Still
he's
there.
been in the league, he's been welcomed in the league as a rookie. He then was injured because of the friendly fire, and then the suspension of the off-the-field issues. That's 3 years in the league. Next year's his 4th year.
Yeah.
Yes, he's under a rookie contract, but if you're going to sell, you've got to get some pieces, and you got to sell while it's high. And if you want to revamp your team and revamp the message and really let Patrick Mahomes kind of become that OC that Binkley was talking about, you might have to make some of those moves, and that could be a Rashee Rice move. Let's go to Nate Taylor.
He's the only man in history to win a race in a hot dog costume and break national NFL news.
It's baby Rafi.
Here's Nate Taylor from ESPN with Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
That's right, Nate Taylor time here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. It is the ESPN Chiefs beat writer. Nate Taylor, we ask you the question that we just asked the fellas, or that I asked in the offseason. Would you consider trading Rashee Rice?
Oh, wow, we're starting here. Okay.
Better believe
Yeah. Part of me wants to say no. Now, a lot of this would, part of me wants to say no because at some point, and we know how talented Rashee Rice is. I think I should start there. Like, he's probably your most talented receiver just from like an overall skill standpoint. Now, as I said before earlier this week on Cody and Gold, hey, he has maturity issues. He still needs to, I think, learn what it's like to be the number one receiving option, especially against man coverage when there's, like a safety over the top. Hey, man, you still got to find work. You still got to perform at a high level. You still got to be a professional, even when the play call isn't like, pristine for you. With that said, we don't know if Travis Kelce's coming back. You do want some continuity. You did invest a second-round pick in him. I know that there was parallels. I think to some degree, alluded to this in like an article back in whatever it was, October, when he came back from the suspension, that, hey, if he played well this season, if there was no, long-term serious injury concerns, could you get him at a below-market rate deal, similar to what you did with Tyreek Hill in the 2019 offseason because of his own off-the-field issues, right? So, he's not going to be like the highest paid receiver. I understand the thought process of trading him. I'm not sure what you would necessarily get back. Like, I don't think you're going to get a second round pick, the same status of which you drafted him. But I understand that, like, he does fit. The issue is, a lot of it is within himself, and he can fix it himself, notably catching the football, again, running better routes. If the scheme isn't like perfect for you, you are still talented enough to help your quarterback, even when things don't go perfect. So I would not consider trading Rashee Rice personally, because we've seen it work, but he has to show maturity more than anything else now that we know he's still a very talented player coming back from that major knee injury last year.
Nate, I also think we're in a very bad position. When you lose, everything gets analyzed, everything gets discussed, everything gets talked about. I find out who assistant coaches are when they start to lose. This Connor Embry guy has as much business coaching wide receivers in the NFL as I do. I think they need to make a drastic position change there, coaching change there, and bring in a legitimate wide receiver coach that can coach these guys.
As I said on Tuesday, and it's so funny, Bob, that you mentioned, hey, I'm starting to learn who this man is. And then, I understand people look up, people's resumes on the internet. It's definitely something we do as a society. I really don't have much of an argument, of a case to defend Connor Embry. I know he came up in a very non-traditional manner. He's not the most well-spoken assistant coach, so if you do find video and clips of him, I would say public speaking is not his forte necessarily. So I don't know what it's like in the wide receiver room. I don't know how much of a say he really has in the coaches' meetings with, Matt Nagy, obviously Andy Reid. But I do want to remind people that essentially, and this is like what you were saying, Bob, like there's small things that become larger and larger if you don't have the same level of success.
Right.
Greg Lewis was a very good wide receiver in the NFL. Now, was he an all-pro? Was he a Pro Bowler? No. But he had a very extended career in the NFL. He was with Andy Reid in Philadelphia. He was with that roster that went to the Super Bowl, I believe, in, 2004. Greg Lewis was a part of the Legion of Zoom, right? He got all those guys to play well, even though, as Andy Reid would like to say, hey, there's only one football. So you're thinking of Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Demarcus Robinson, Byron Pringle. Like, he had pretty good success with receivers, and now he's with the Baltimore Ravens because I think there was some thought at the time that if Eric Bieniemy were to become a head coach, Greg Lewis would follow him. That obviously did not happen. Greg Lewis saw another opportunity, again, in the Andy Reid sort of tree with John Harbaugh in Baltimore. So that's where he is now. So think about this, ladies and gentlemen. They replaced, in essence, Greg Lewis with Joe Blameyer. And Joe Blameyer, I think, only lasted 1 year in that role. And Joe Blameyer is now like he's like sort of elevated to like passing game coordinator in essence, or passing game, sort of czar. And then they gave it to Connor Inbree. So I think I have the timeline pretty well, but there's one thing where you just, again, it's just one thing, but you are noticing like, hey, this is not as traditional of a coaching rank or someone who is as experienced or someone who could tell the guys in the room, hey, I've been in those situations on third down. I know what it's like to go up against obviously talented DBs and, complex defensive schemes and sort of reading, what the secondary is doing pre-snap, post-snap. Greg Lewis had a lot of respect, and I know it's not like Baltimore has the greatest receivers on earth either, so I get it. But he was someone who helped the team to have great success early on in Mahomes' career, and now you have Connor Inbree, who does not have the same credentials or the same pedigree that Greg Lewis once had.
And then on the other side, at the running back position, you have Todd Pinkston, a former wide receiver coaching the running backs. Explain to me how that makes sense.
I can't.
Okay. That's fine. You don't have to say anything else.
My understanding was Todd Pinkston wants to be an NFL coach, so Andy Reid gave him that opportunity. Hey, we have an opening. It's at the running back position. Now, look, it's not abnormal to be like, hey, Andy Reid used to be an offensive line coach, but he really cut his teeth as tight ends coach who got elevated to quarterbacks coach, and then obviously he became play caller / head coach with Philadelphia. So it's not like it can't work where you're like, hey, I played one position in the NFL or in college, and now I'm coaching another position. That is not unusual, but we have raw data in under the Todd Pinkston era, it's not been the same as the Eric Bieniemy era when he was the running backs coach, right? I know Greg Lewis dabbled for some time at the running back position because, again, he wanted to have he wanted to say I coached multiple spots in the event that maybe Eric Bieniemy becomes a head coach. Again, I know I'm sharing a lot of old news, but I'm just trying to give people proper perspective. So I know Todd Pinkston isn't thrilled with the way things are going. But again, does he have the same voice? Does he carry the same message that Eric Bieniemy did about, hey, we need to run the football. We need to get under center. We need to be aggressive. We need to get the offensive line moving forward versus backwards just to keep them, engaged and keep the defense off balance. I don't know. I'm not in those meetings, ladies and gentlemen, but the Todd Pinkston era has largely been an underwhelming experience. And so it's a good question, Bob. And these are the answers I have.
Yeah, I get it. No, I'm not asking you to move mountains. I'm just having the conversation because, again, when things go wrong, we evaluate everything in the organization.
Mm-hmm. So, look, there's no salary cap on coaches. I want to make that clear, too. And Clark Hunt, for whatever, sort of thoughts you have on him, whoever is listening, has paid Andy Reid and, Steve Spagnuolo handsomely. Dave Toll makes a good amount of money, per my understanding. So it's not like, Clark Hunt hasn't invested in the coaching staff necessarily, but for whatever reason, these next crops of coaches have not had the same level of success that you had earlier in the dynasty.
So let's talk coaches, but player coaches. Both one or none come back. Trent McDuffie, Chris Jones.
I want both back. Okay. Guys, let's not overthink this. Now, I think Chris's contract is structured to where you can move some money around. You can free up some cap space. That was part of the arrangement when you made the deal. In essence, hey, we're going to give you a good amount of signing bonus. We're going to make you the highest paid player at your position, but we need to have some flexibility moving forward because, yes, you're going to be 31, you're going to be 32, and hopefully the production doesn't drop off, drastically. Now, we've seen over the last 4 games, Chris Jones has clearly been their best pass rusher, and, if the Chiefs don't make the postseason this year, it's not like Chris Jones can't come back next year and be another dominant force or have a similar season from a production standpoint. You guys, again, I know it's early December. Everybody's looking at mock drafts. I'm just now myself starting to identify certain prospects that I guess I'm going to have to keep an eye on. But I just want to remind people that, Brett Veach has never had a top 20 draft pick. Right. His highest draft pick is Trent McDuffie. Yes, did Trent McDuffie get cooked on Thanksgiving? Yeah, it happens. It's unfortunate that Trent McDuffie hyperextended his knee last Sunday against the Houston Texans, and then we all realized as a collective group, I think, in this city, man, it would have been cool if they had Jalen Watson, Trent McDuffie, and Noah Williams on the field all the time, and maybe you didn't have to put so much responsibility on Shamari Connor because it wasn't like the Texans were just moving up and down the field even without Trent McDuffie for a large chunk of that game. So Trent McDuffie is a 2-time All-Pro player. He is not the problem. I would suggest, hey, Trent needs to be someone that you could be flexible with moving outside and in the nickel spot so that, again, Shamari Connor never has to do these sort of things. And we now realize Noah Williams does have the physical traits and the makeup, I believe, and the talent, honestly, to play on the outside. So who knows what happens with Jalen Watson? He is also a free agent as well. I know that gets a little bit tricky because you do have the 5th-year option with Trent McDuffie. If you do want to trade him, that is something you could, sort of suggest to the other team that it's acquiring. Like, hey, he's still on a 5th-year rookie deal. Mm-hmm. You still have some wiggle room to negotiate and manage whatever that contract is going to be in terms of an extension. Now, I've reported this before. I don't think this has really changed since the beginning of the season, but, Trent McDuffie knows what Sauce Gardner makes. Mm-hmm. Just think about that, guys. Right. However you structure it, that'll be the question. Again, it's kind of like the Trey Smith situation where, is it a 4-year deal? Is it a 5-year deal? All these things come into factor, but, Trent McDuffie's not the problem. He's really good within Steve Spagnuolo's system, and he's been very productive for 4 years now. So I don't, I was one who was like, are you sure you want to pay George Karlaftis before you want to pay Trent McDuffie? The Chiefs realized that was an easier thing to do based on the market and the fact that, George Karlaftis was not going to make top of, position money at defensive end. But we all know Trent McDuffie's a better player than George Karlaftis, right? We all know this. There are metrics, there are film, there are highlights to suggest this. If you have a good corner, man, there's a lot of things you can do on defense if you have a good corner and a good pass rusher. The issue is, they cannot get off the field on 3rd and long, and I don't really think that's totally a Trent McDuffie issue. They just have to get better at certain spots of the field, primarily in the middle of the field at safety and cornerback, or safety and linebacker, excuse me.
Do you think the price for him has dropped, maybe, Nate, because of the past 2 performances? And do you think him being an inside corner versus an outside corner like Stingley and Surtain and those guys maybe makes him a little cheaper?
So, let's think about this. Stingley's been excellent this season, all right? So, in my opinion, you're thinking, and again, your contract is based on when you come up, when you're eligible, based on the peers that you came into the league with. This is how it works, ladies and gentlemen. That Sauce Gardner contract is an abomination because Sauce Gardner is not as good as Derek Stingley. And listen to me clearly, ladies and gentlemen, Sauce Gardner's not as good as Trent McDuffie.
No, there's no question. Andy,
Sauce got a 1st-round pick.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. I don't know what the Colts are doing, guys. So, hey, if you get a first
just because they made a bad trade doesn't mean everybody else is, They
made a bad trade on site because it's like, okay, if you want to, I would have been in the room saying, hey, if we want to give up next year's 1st-round pick, fine, because we do think we have a solution in Daniel Jones. We know he fits our system. We got Jonathan Taylor. He's still in the relative prime of his career. Hey, we got a nice young pieces on the offense from a skill set position with Tyler Warren. Hey, our defense, it needs improvement. Sauce Gardner, we drop him in. He's going to immediately impact us. He's on a gigantic contract. Why on earth are you giving up 2 first-round picks? Are you out of your mind? Yep. It was crazy on the idea because you're not going to change that contract. And we all knew, and the Jets do this, man, that contract was bad at the moment we signed him. But the Jets felt like they had to sign him because he was one of their best players. and you don't want to lose him for nothing. So the Jets actually did something relatively smart where they looked around and said, man, we ain't winning any of these games, even though Sauce Gardner is a good player. So he's not going to lift us to be in contention anytime soon. So they called around and were, I'm assured, shocked that Indy, under new ownership, by the way, shout out to Carly Ursay, said, no, we'll give up 2 first-round picks, even though we maybe have a quarterback. Like, when you tell yourself, we maybe have a quarterback, and that's how Daniel Jones was playing. Hey, man, we might have a quarterback.
Yeah, right.
You still need your first-round picks. So it's wild to me that they gave up 2 first-round picks because that's the same deal that essentially the Chiefs did to acquire Patrick Mahomes. What are you doing?
No doubt. No doubt. Well, Nate, keep doing the Lord's work over there at ESPN, and good luck the rest of the season.
All right, fellas. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. That is Nate Taylor of ESPN, the Chiefs beat writer there. Coming up next, what's your fat guy guilty pleasure, food-wise? Plus, we got a frigid game between 2 hot-named quarterbacks coming up on Sunday here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is Nick Bolton, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sports fans in Missouri can sign up for BetMGM using bonus code DUSTY and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet does not win. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day. Get into hockey, basketball, and pro football with features like live bets, same-game parlays, BetMGM rewards points, and surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. It's everything a sports fan could want in one app. BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sign up today using bonus code DUSTY to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Minimum deposit of $10 to participate. Rewards are non-withdrawal bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
Men, we hear it all the time. A man comes in to get his erectile dysfunction treated, and very soon thereafter, he tells us that his relationship is renewed. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and you should know that ED doesn't just affect you, it also often affects your partner. They can feel undesired, unwanted, they may even feel like you don't love them anymore. At Heartland Men's Health, we've successfully treated thousands of men for ED with protocols that have success rates as high as 90%. Which means if you're like most men, we can get you back to the guy you used to be. You could even last up to an hour or more and find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and give your partner the gift of renewed love. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in our office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Men, you need to look great for holiday events. Let Peter's Clothiers give you the perfect fit you're looking for. From sportswear to suits and sports coats and sizes to fit every man. PetersClothiers.com or stop in today at 124th and State Line.
With the first pick in the McDonald's breakfast draft, I'm going with a tasty sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle sandwich. Bold move, sweet, savory, totally stacked. But wait, that delicious sausage McMuffin with egg sandwich is still on the board. Lucky for me, McD lets you mix and match 2 for just $5. And right now, any size iced coffee is only $1.89. Breakfast at McDonald's. That's the real winning deal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Don't become another lab-grown diamond victim. There are many reasons you will never see a lab-grown diamond for sale at House of Diamonds. You can learn a few of them online at mybigrock.com. Maybe a wholesale price or 2 as well. That's mybigrock.com.
O'Reilly. Cleaning your fuel system can help your engine run better and improve gas mileage. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts and pick up a bottle of Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner on sale now. Buy one, get one free, plus get 2 times O-Rewards points. Just add it to your tank during your next fill-up. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. Their max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-583-5795.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
35 northbound heavy crossing the state line. Stay slow up to Penway with an accident reporting. Kansas side 435 eastbound heavy past Quivira. Stay slow out past Antioch. Main lanes and service road affected. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Have a little fun here because this is how content works for our show. We go to commercial break. I see a commercial on TV and I go, dear God, here's what I used to do at that restaurant. And Bob goes, man, we used to be fat asses.
Yeah, well, how did we have
Still
this?
kind of am.
Oh, it started with
Olive Garden.
Yeah, we were watching the commercial. Yeah,
and I sat there and I was like, you know what? I think Olive Garden gets a bad rap because we all like Olive Garden, but we just don't admit that we all enjoy Olive Garden.
That's exactly right. And I said to Dusty, I said, just give me the soup and the salad and the breadsticks and I'm good.
Yeah, the minestrone, that Italian dressing they use in that big clear bowl
the
with the
plastic
Parmesan
bowl
cheese over the top.
It's so good. It is just, it is absolutely awesome. And Dusty goes, you want to know what I'd do if I'm really fat? I'm like, okay, tell me.
Yeah, so I said that my go-to OG order is when they come out and they're like, hey, we're going to bring out some breadsticks here in a little bit. I say, can I get a side of Alfredo sauce?
Oh, heck yes, dude.
Yeah.
Heck, that's the best.
Dude. And you're going to be
It's
surprised.
so good.
That is a move many, many people do because the only reason I knew about this move was at Jack Stack when I was working there during COVID. And we did trade with other restaurants around. And Olive Garden happened to call our general
God, imagine
manager.
doing it now with all those restaurants out there.
Oh, no kidding. And Olive Garden called our restaurant and asked for food. And we're like, all right. They would say, okay, well, what do you want? We're like, I don't know. Just put something together. And they're like, okay. So they gave us like Alfredo. They gave us some sausages and marinara sauce. They gave us some noodles and pasta and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, there was still like this huge like pint of Alfredo sauce, half pint. And then there was a ton of breadsticks. And me and my buddy Bobby just collected. We just put it all in our car and we left. And he goes, you know what you do? Because he used to work there for like 15 years. And he was like, you know what you do with the Alfredo sauce and the breadsticks? I was like, no, what do I do? He's like, you heat it up and dip the breadsticks in the Alfredo sauce. Game changer.
Yeah,
and I was like, and I was sitting there like Ben Stiller at the end of Dodgeball. Like I had that damn tournament one, freaking Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
And I'm just all over, just sticks and Alfredo. I didn't even eat anything else.
I mean, that is a fat guy move.
Big time.
You know, when we talk about this stuff, Dusty, we wonder why we were fat back in the day, right? And you're dipping your breadsticks in Alfredo sauce. I'm not an Alfredo guy. I would take a bowl of marinara sauce, tomato sauce, or whatever it was.
Sure.
That's what I ordered, 2 weeks ago when my dad told my mom she was a great organizer. We went to the Italian restaurant, and they had Nona's Sunday sauce on the menu. And I said, I'll take that. They said, what kind of pasta? I said, I don't want the pasta. It's going to be a bowl of sauce. It comes with meatballs and some sausage in it. That's all I need. So give me that any day of the week on top of those breadsticks. Like, if you could put the sauce, like with the meatballs and all that on top of the breadsticks and eat them with like a knife and a fork as a casserole, mix some cheese in, it'd be fantastic. My ultimate fat guy move is it's a Jersey staple. It's called disco fries. And Dusty will have those when we go in April to watch the Royals and Yankees, and we will get disco fries. It's basically the Jersey version of poutine. And you take your fries, you cover them with brown gravy, you put like, cheese curds on there, mozzarella cheese curds all over the top. The cheese melts into the gravy, you eat the fries, and boom, you're ready to go to the ICU for a heart attack.
Because I told you the other guilty pleasure at Freddy's is the California-style burger with the chili cheese fries. Good Lord. That'll put you down.
So good. And now I'm on it, man. I love that.
Don't be on it too much.
What is your fat guy pleasure if you have one? Because you're such a,
this is a little growing boy. I don't know, man. I mean, just
you don't have one, do you?
That's
fine.
Catch me at 9:30. That's when I will eat anything.
9:30 a.m. or p.m.?
Yeah, that's
PM.
Bad. It's bad. No, it's bad. Around 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
No wonder you always go in here and like, I'll be right back.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why you're pooping all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the late at night. I can't help it.
But you don't have anything that like is your guilty pleasure, like, oh my God, if this is here, I'm gonna dive in.
There's a cornbread that I've discovered at Hy-Vee that I get that's pre-made, and it's a big square, and I ate easily 75% of it in one day. And I was like, what?
You could also say your guilty pleasure is Momo's Ooey Gooey Butter Cake.
True. Yeah, there's a lot of versions of butter cake that are coming out these days.
Yeah, you turn into like Gollum in your room. Like, precious.
Can she do a meat pie gooey butter cake?
We should check.
I mean, seriously, combine the meat pie with the gooey butter cake.
Mom, let me know.
Call
please.
that the Maloney. Hell yeah, I can do that. Yeah, let's do that. Gooey butter cake and meat pies. Yeah.
From the 816, my fat guy pleasure is definitely McDonald's. Can't beat the McDouble.
Okay.
Can you read the one that came in before the segment started, please? Because I am that guy's buddy who texted that. Because
from the 816, fat guy guilty pleasure, definitely the double-decker chocolate chip cookie cake covered in buttercream icing.
Oh man. Where do you get that?
We need to figure that out.
And in between the two cookie cakes, is there a layer of icing too? And then, I mean, that just sounds delightful. I just love icing, man, especially on the cookie cake. Oh, God.
Somebody says, can we get a shout out to the people working on the Olive Garden being built in Lawrence? People are excited. The ETA is February.
Sweet.
We haven't had an Olive Garden in Lawrence yet?
Yeah, we got to get that.
That's the upset of the year right there.
Somebody says you all need to go eat authentic Italian at Lydia's behind Union Station.
Lydia's is fantastic.
Been there.
Is
did
it?
it?
Okay.
Yeah, because
Pasta Trio is the way to go.
And they'll keep coming by your table and be like, would you like more of the clam, shrimp, and linguine? And you're like, yes.
Yeah, it's just self-serve, three
the
different
ambiance
pastas.
is disgustingly awesome, too.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
Lydia's?
great.
Yeah, Lydia's,
Sweet.
it's great.
I'm in.
It is fantastic. Yeah, you'll get the pasta trio. That's all you need to know when you go to Lydia's. Get a Caesar salad and a pasta trio, and
easy.
From the 913, toasted mayo and mozzarella baguette dipped in olive oil and pesto.
now leave the mayo off, and I'm in.
It's toasted though, right? So it's like into the bread. I don't know.
I can't. You leave the mayo off, and I'm in on that though. Yeah.
Put Italian sausage in a crock pot with marinara and green peppers, red peppers, and onions. Take brat buns and sprinkle some shredded provolone cheese on the bun, then sausage and peppers and onions on the bun as well on the top, and then more cheese. Absolutely fire.
Hell yeah. That sounds delicious.
Milk duds and red wine, baby.
The chocolate red wine mix is a good mix. Yeah.
Nice.
And the raisins too, actually. Because grapes are dried out raisins, which turn into wine or something like that.
Doesn't Dusty do something crazy with the buffalo chicken sponge at QT?
What?
Sponge?
I don't know what the sponge is.
Well, you get that buffalo chicken roller and you glaze it up in cheese.
Oh, I think that's a B-dub deal. And
what I do is I take the jalapeno sausage link and I put cheese on the bottom, put the link on top, put mustard and sauerkraut on top of it.
But I think the sponge thing came from B-dub. He's like, this thing's like a sponge, right? And it just kind of soaks up all the stuff, you know? But, yeah.
My fat kid pleasures are sausage, gravy, and banana pudding. Not together, of course, but yeah, banana pudding, man.
Yes.
I look like that kid from Matilda. Bruce Spongtrotter. Just got that Nilla pudding all over my face. That's not what you want to say out loud. 2 packages of ramen seasoned Instamac and cheese powder bag sprinkled with red pepper chili fillings.
Wait, so what?
So 2 ramen packages with the ramen seasoning. Then you add the instant mac and cheese powder bag sprinkled in with red pepper chili flakes.
Could be good. I don't know. It's really weird.
I'm trying to get what kind of flavor profile that would be.
The cheese with the ramen.
Yes.
I'm wondering if that's going to
Yeah.
work.
Oh, my God. Stroud cinnamon rolls dipped in the gravy.
Oh, yes.
Smash.
Man, I love Stroud's.
Oh, golly.
I love some Stroud's.
It is money.
The old school one under the bridge at Troost was the best.
It's
And it's
awesome.
just never been the same.
My swim coach, Redbridge YMCA swim team, man, she worked at Stroud, so we'd get up at 6 a.m. in the summers, finish at 7, and she'd have a big old thing of cinnamon rolls for all of us. It was awesome.
That's good. Leftover from the night before.
Oh, yeah.
So good. Yeah.
It was great.
Somebody says, I don't know what this means. Bob probably crushed furs in Lawrence back in the day.
Yeah. Hell yes, I did. First cafeteria. Yeah. I thought it was an all-you-can-eat. I got up there like $100, please. I'm like, I thought this was an all-you-can-eat. I did the same thing at Luby's in Texas. I'm like, I thought it was an all-you-can-eat. But I only did Luby's one time and Furs one time. And cafeteria, that kind of food was never my thing. I wasn't old enough back then.
What about the Outhouse? They have food there?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
You bring your own.
Dirty
Bird had good food, though. Max Falkenstein used to eat the chicken sandwich in there a lot.
Somebody says 2 grilled cheeses as smash burgers, buns with bacon and fried egg.
Say that again.
So, like, you do a grilled cheese, but you put a burger in between the grilled cheese, smash it down like a smash burger, and then add a fried egg to it with bacon.
I mean, that's a little much for me. The 2 grilled cheese sandwiches as buns.
I mean, add some Frisco sauce or something. Yeah.
Go to Culver's. There's a 3-scoop dish and a large concrete that's not on the menu. You get twice as much in those as anything on the menu. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Boy, we're all starving. I got a car full of food already.
Yeah.
Shout out Smokehouse.
Yeah, Smokehouse came by here yesterday, apparently catered for not us.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to it, though. Leftovers, baby.
Oh, yeah. I like a good old cold turkey sandwich.
Yes.
My wife loves their turkey and loves putting the beans on top of that turkey. And so when I saw the beans in the turkey, I'm like, all right, I got to take this for Jen. Yeah.
There you go.
You're doing 2-a-days this week.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Smash. Coming up on the other side, the news that broke yesterday, not out of Michigan, but out of Indianapolis here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Tune in to hear former Chiefs linebacker Derek Johnson every Monday at 7:20, right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
I'll tell you what, pain has a way of stealing the moments away that matter most, especially during the holidays, right? It's not just your knees, your back, or your shoulder. It's that time away from your family and friends that you're really going to miss because you're dealing with that pain. But in 2026, all of that could change when your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help finding the way back. QC Kinetics believes relief doesn't have to come from surgery or pain pills. They use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost, helping you move, live, and feel like yourself again. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery, just your body remembering how to feel alive again. So take that first step with my friends over at QC Kinetics and get that appointment scheduled so you can enjoy the holidays and live without wincing. Schedule your free consultation today, and now is a great time to use your HSA and FSA for treatments. Call 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. All 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, it's QC Kinetics.
This holiday season, give your family, clients, and coworkers the gift of Booth Creek Wagyu beef. Booth Creek Wagyu gift boxes provide the world's best steaks, burgers, hot dogs, jerky, sausages, and seasonings that are changing the way America eats beef. Choose from mouth-watering options like the classic sirloin box for less than $100, or go big with the amazing Grill Masters Reserve box. Order yours today at boothcreekwagyu.com or visit one of their 2 convenient locations at 95th and Knoll or 135th Street in Metcalf.
Well, I'll tell you, the wintertime is coming. We already had that one snow day, and you saw all the car wrecks that happened during that. People going off the side of the road, people's brakes going out. Maybe your car didn't start, or Maybe you just locked your keys in your car. Whatever it is with your car, whatever experience that you had that hasn't been on the good side, you need to make sure that you have Jay's Southland Tow Service ready to go. So when this winter weather does happen, or your car goes off the road, or you get into a dreaded accident, whatever happens to you, you know that Jay's Southland Tow will be there to help you out. So I want you to take your phone out now and put their number in it so you have it ready to go. 816-779-4TOW. That's 816-779-4TOW. And Jay Southland Tow Service will help you all over Kansas City. They helped us on a Friday around 5 o'clock, blew a tire, and by 6 o'clock we were ready to go. And when you call Jay's Direct, you don't have to worry about dealing with the insurance company to handle everything. They will come out and take care of you. So keep that number handy, 816-779-4TOW or at southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, and Tammy from the Weston, it's Jay's Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
Get the game day action right from your phone. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app now. Use Radio MO. Place your first bet of $5 or more and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Open to new users in Missouri who are 21 or older. First wager after registration must qualify and win, and bonus bets expire 30 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promos or the promotions tab on the app for full terms. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. Choosing the best doctor for your eyes is one of the most important medical decisions you'll ever make. Whether you're considering blade-free LASIK, all laser cataract surgery, and premium lens implants, or want a world-renowned doctor to help with your glaucoma, macular degeneration, dry eyes, or diabetes, trust my doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein. Call Silverstein Eye Centers to make an appointment, 816-358-3600. Experience the best eye care in Kansas City.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Imagine being a million miles away. Tremfya Kuselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit tremfya.com.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
35 northbound crossing the state line. Stays heavy from Cambridge Circle up to Penway with a stall blocking the center lane. Kansas side 435 eastbound moving better from 69 Highway out to Metcalf. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Well, a lot of stuff got swept under the rug yesterday in the sports world because of the alarming news that came out of Michigan that we'll dive into a little bit later. Their coach, Sherrone Moore, is out having an affair with a staff member, which we also found out a little bit later in the day that he had forced her to have an abortion and was kind of stalking her. And then once the news came out that he was fired, he went to her house and had a knife to his neck, threatening to kill himself and her. Then was interrupted at a church on the way out because his wife sent the location to the authorities. The authorities found him. He is now he's now been detained, and he's right. Waiting further information. I guess his mugshot is out there now as well. Some news that you might have missed, some breaking news out of Philadelphia. Sad day. The Positivity Rabbit is no longer in the Eagles locker room.
Was that real?
I mean, dude, December 6th, Jeff McClain, who has 151,000.6 followers, Eagles reporter at Inquirer.com, listened to my podcast, Uncovering the Birds, reported on December 6th, Eastern December, in the Eagles locker room as a Positivity Rabbit was there. And then yesterday, breaking, the Positivity Rabbit is no longer in the Eagles locker room per team. It lasted a week.
I want to know. I need more on that story. Was that a Sirianni thing? Was that an ownership thing? Was that a player thing? Was that a joke? Like what ultimately was that? Because if you're a head coach, let's say it was on Nick Sirianni, right? And you're the head coach of grown-ass men, and you bring in a blow-up rabbit and put it in the locker room and say it's the Positivity Rabbit, I would tell you, there's the door. Don't let it hit you on the way out. We're finding a new head football coach, for this team. And so that's why I was questioning, is this real? I couldn't believe that was actually something that was real that an NFL team would have going on in their locker room with the Positivity Rabbit. Now, maybe there's some joke that we don't know, some inside joke or something like that, and they're mocking somebody, and if they are, God love you. But I need to know more about that whole Positivity Rabbit thing, because that seemed like one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen before.
No doubt about it. I'd have just been like, I'd have popped that rabbit if that's what it was, like a huge inflatable.
I'm surprised nobody did that. Like, nobody came in and punched the rabbit in the face.
And show some more fight on the locker room than the field.
Yeah.
So yesterday, I thought it was kind of fun. Phillip Rivers had his press conference. Riley Leonard is going to practice. He practiced fully yesterday. I think their plan is for him to start, and then in case of emergency, break glass, a.k.a. Phillip Rivers. We will see. They play the Seahawks this weekend. They are 14-point dogs.
Jeez.
Those Indianapolis Colts. So
talk about a season turning.
We'll have Alex Gold on the show here in about 10 minutes, and he'll tell you either stay away or take the 14 always, right?
Yeah.
Like do an individual bet, take the 14 points, and just hope that it works out. Hard to cover 2 scores in the NFL as a spread.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle has done that quite often this year, it seems. But this was Phillip Rivers on coming back yesterday.
I've tried to make this as simple as I can. I'll try not to get emotional, actually, you asking that. As simple as can be is a coach that I love and an organization that I really enjoyed being with. Mr. Irsay believing in me in that year in 2020 when it didn't go so good in 2019. And shoot, the teammates that I were able to play with, 14 of them are still here. Training room's the same. PR guys are the same. Equipment room's the same. And they wanted me. And, I try to keep it as simple as that. And, a game I love to play, a game that I thought I was done playing. Certainly, I wasn't really hanging on any hope of playing again. I'd kind of thought that ship had sailed. But something about it excited me, and it's kind of one of those deals. The door opens, and you can either walk through it and find out if you can do it, or run from it.
There's nothing worse in life than being left with a regret, right? I don't know if you've had many in your life, Mac. If you've had many, I like to think for the most part I haven't had many of those regrets where I look back and go, "Damn, I wish I would have done that," or "I wish I would have tried that," or something like that. I think that's where Phillip Rivers is. He's
you said the stadium was going downtown.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was supposed to. Mayor L messed that one up. But I'll tell you, the situation with what's going on with Phillip Rivers, you can hear it in his voice. He's like, I feel like I can still play, and I would regret if I didn't take advantage of this opportunity just to see one more time if I had it in me. Because professional sports isn't something that, you can pick up again in your 60s, right? Mm-hmm. Like you've got this little window, and if he feels like he can do it, I feel like he owes it to himself. I was never the hugest Phillip Rivers fan ever, because he whined all the time and all that kind of stuff.
He also played for the competition.
Also played for one of your biggest rivals, right? And so he was a great competitor too. That was the other thing. Like he was that competitor that man you hated, but like moments like this, you're like, damn, I kind of like this guy. So I understand what he's going through. As he's getting up there in age, he's realizing I don't have many more opportunities if I want to do this. I feel like I can. I'm going to go see if I can and see what happens. And that's worst case scenario. He doesn't play well. He realizes why he retired 5 years ago. But having to live with that for the rest of his life, I can understand why he would want to go back. Plus, they wanted him, too. There's something to be said for that.
Plus, there's also the realization real quickly that you're like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
This was him when this is basically Phillip Rivers being self-deprecating.
What is your playing weight? What do you weigh right now? Right this second? I'm not sure, Greg. How about that? That's an honest answer. And I will answer your question a little better on the playing weight, Greg. And not what it was when I walked off the field in Buffalo. All right? I can tell you that. But then I'll follow that up with, I ain't never ran away from anybody anyway. Right? So I'm gonna, they you know, people say, well, they're gonna know you're gonna be right there, and it's like, well, they knew that for 16, 17 years. So.
That is true. That's really good. Like, I wasn't ever fast, so all of a sudden I'm not going to get fast. But no, I think it's going to be something fun to watch, man. It's one of those things that grabs you. It's why the NFL is this great soap opera, because just when you think, you know, nothing's going on, all of a sudden Phillip Rivers is coming out of retirement and may play this weekend. Where did that come from? And so the Indianapolis Colts have really been sort of a great, I don't know, entertaining device this year for the rest of the NFL. Big trades, great start, colossal collapse, losing a quarterback, Phillip Rivers, owner's daughter on the sidelines. Like, it's been a wild season in Indianapolis, and I'd kind of rather have the season we're having here where I didn't get my hopes up real early, you know. But those Colts fans, I kind of do feel bad for them because they were playing great football, and now they're probably not going to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, because somebody brought up the text line earlier. Who loves football more, Phillip Rivers or Jay Binkley?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Text line's voice.
I don't know. Probably Rivers.
Because I can ask you a question. Let's say you retired at the age of 50, right? 2 more years or a year and a half. Basically just a year.
Basically just a year. Yeah.
Let's say you retired at 50 and somebody at this station in 5 years goes on to a higher media, right? They go to LA, they go to New York, Chicago, whatever it may be, and they're kind of in a standstill and they're like, well, we need somebody to come back. Hey, Bob, would you come back? And you've been out for 5 years.
What are you paying?
You know the answer to that question?
Yeah, probably
but
not.
Would you think about it before
Yeah,
hearing
of course. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And again,
No
that's
doubt,
not football. We're sitting on our ass giving out hot takes, big and loud. But again, like, that's the thing is, like, I don't think you ever lose the desire for something that you do for such a long time that you put so much into.
Right,
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, I know there are some people that work jobs that are like, 35 years, I worked my ass off. I'm so happy to be retired. And you know what happens in about 4 or 5 weeks? Man, I'm bored. Like, well, exactly. I think that's what happens. And again, we heard the stories of Phillip Rivers playing with his high school son and the kids and implicating the offense of the Colts into that.
I love that.
And then somebody says, the question we brought up earlier when we brought up this topic, what does that say about the quality of quarterbacks in the league? That's insane. That means that you do not need to expand in this league. It is fine the way it is because we're getting Phillip Rivers out of a high school. But, I mean, look, I also think he probably looked at Joe Flacco right now, younger.
Good point.
But Joe Flacco was literally in the carpool lane picking his kids up and throwing football passes at practice. Like, can he still do it? He's like, I don't know. I feel like I got something left in the tank. I mean, went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then led the team and then got traded and traded again and still playing to this day. To think that's crazy, to think that you've got Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers, and Phillip Rivers could all be playing quarterback this weekend in 2025.
It's nuts, but I kind of had that same analogy driving in. I was thinking about it in relation to, you know, my career, and I think that's what we always do. We see stuff like this and go, would I ever do something like that or whatnot? And I love the fact that Phillip Rivers feels he's got a little bit left in the tank and can keep on going. I'm anxious to see what he does this weekend.
No doubt about it. Coming up next, a guy who has plenty in the tank. That's Alex Gold. He joins us next here for Golden Locks on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friends over at Hy-Vee are going to save us money altogether. That's what they do every single day. They're lowering prices all over Hy-Vee. I love walking up and down the aisles when I'm in there 2-3 times a week and seeing all the little signs that say, we've lowered this price is lower. And then I love walking around and finding those fuel saver discounts because those add up really, really fast. And when you get those fuel savers, you save money on fuel, and that's money right back in your pocket. I've got 67 cents right now on my fuel saver card. I love to get it over $1 and watch that pump roll back and save a boatload of cash. And Hy-Vee's finding ways to save me money like those amazing fuel saver deals. So shop Hy-Vee this Friday and Saturday. Get a 30-cent per gallon fuel discount when you spend $60 on groceries. Stack up the savings on Hy-Vee fuel saver deals, and your next fill-up could even be free. Only at Hy-Vee. Hey, Chiefs fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Kansas City Chiefs. And this season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
Men, you need to look great for holiday events. Let Peter's Clothiers give you the perfect fit you're looking for. From sportswear to suits and sports coats and sizes to fit every man. PetersClothiers.com or stop in today at 124th and State Line.
At Target, great memories start with great prices. Get gingerbread house kits for just $12, plus all the Wondershop baking must-haves. Gather the whole fam, grab some gingerbread kits, and start building sweet moments together. Then keep the joy rolling, baking up tasty treats with Wondershop that'll make the season a blast. Make unforgettable memories with incredible prices on gingerbread kits and Wondershop baking essentials. And step into the holidays, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends, near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
It's the season to come together over your holiday favorites at Starbucks. Warm up with a creamy caramel brulee latte. Get festive with an iced gingerbread chai, or share a velvety peppermint mocha. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's the season to come together over your holiday favorites at Starbucks. Warm up with a creamy caramel brulee latte. Get festive with an iced gingerbread chai, or share a velvety peppermint mocha. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
What's good, y'all? It's Von Miller, Super Bowl MVP, SAG Master, and now your host of Free Range. This is where NFL meets real talk. Every week, I'm bringing you inside the game, from locker room stories to league-wide headlines. You want football IQ, locker room insight, and real conversations with the people shaping the league? Welcome to Free Range with Von Miller, where nothing is off limits and every down counts. New episodes every Wednesday. Listen and follow Free Range with me, Von Miller, wherever you get your podcast.
Men, it's the holidays, the season of all kinds of hustle and bustle. But if your energy is down, if you aren't sleeping well, if your sex drive is MIA, and you just don't feel like the guy you once were, maybe it's tough to get excited for all the holiday cheer. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if this sounds like you may have low testosterone. And if so, this is the season for you to get treated. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating low T. If you're like most guys, you'll feel the change in just a few weeks. And truly, the results can be life-changing. You'll have improved mental clarity, your energy will kick up, your workouts will be better, your sleep patterns will improve, and your sex drive will likely heat up as well. So call us, and don't go through another season with low T. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Today, expect a partly sunny day with a high of 51.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Welcome back to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. It's time for Golden Locks with Alex Gold.
Gotta figure out how to make money on this thing. It's simply too good.
That's right.
Favorite part of the day for me on a Thursday, bringing my guy Alex Gold.
Oh, I got an update on Michigan, too, for you just now.
Oh, let's hear it.
All right, so Big Cat of Barstool.
You guys going to talk about this at all?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Big Cat from Barstool tweets out, do we know when Michigan first found out about Moore? The idea that they potentially sat on it until the Ohio State game to see if they won or got in the playoffs, only to lose and turn around and say he's not a Michigan man, is maybe the most Michigan man thing of all. Quote tweeted by somebody named Liam Blutman, who works for Barstool Sports, I like my job,
Never heard of him.
responds and says, ask Michigan players who have been making fun of the relationship since mid-2024.
Well, there was definitely online rumors about this,
oh God, yes.
For a while. That part's not new, but it sounds like
looking back now, knowing
Big Cat kind of alluded to it. But don't you guys think it's very obvious that I'm not excusing his behavior, Sherrone Moore's behavior at all, but if he was 11-0 or 11-1, Bob, and number 3 team in the country. Is this happening? Is this none of this getting out?
Alex, therein lies the problem.
Yeah.
And therein lies the problem with athletes and coaches in professional sports and high-level collegiate sports. If you're 11-0, they're allowing you to do nefarious things that you should not be doing. But if you're 9-3 and you lose to Ohio State, then those nefarious things get thrown out into the open. And that therein lies the problem with college and professional sports. We have allowed athletes and coaches to do whatever they want for their entire lives, and then they get into situations like this, and you just can't hide from it anymore because the cleaner, the wolf has been there the whole 9 yards, fixing grades, making people eligible, bailing them out. And these guys just say, well, no matter what I do, somebody's going to be there to clean up my mess. And they continue to push the envelope, push the envelope, push the envelope. And then you get to these type of situations where, sorry.
No, I think that's exactly what has happened here at Michigan. And it's happened for, as you said, for decades.
It's going on in every athletic department in the country.
So I want to bring this up because obviously the news yesterday that got taken over in the entire world was the fact that it was the news that he just mentions out of Michigan.
Cover-ups, I mean by that, for whatever it is. They're covering up athletes, they're covering up grades,
I think we'd all be naive to think that this stuff, not this exact scenario necessarily, but
something, yes.
Of course, yeah. And by the way, not just in sports, Bob. We're obviously talking about through a sports lens, but at very, very major corporations, there's stuff like this that gets covered up as well.
Concert.
Bingo.
Bingo. It happens all the time. When people are successful and they're making money and generating revenue, you look the other way. The second it stops, then it's an open book. Kind of like where, when you lose football games, everybody, looks at everything. Look at KU right now. People 2 years ago thought Lance Leipold was the greatest thing since sliced bread. That guy stinks. And so everybody's looking into what he's got going on. How come he's not winning? Where's his recruiting? Where's his coaching? And then they bring this offensive coordinator back. And if they think they're going to turn around things with him, why isn't he the head coach and not Leipold? So you've got all of these questions. When you lose, everything gets scrutinized.
Speaking of getting scrutinized, the news that didn't really kind of hold up yesterday was Philip Rivers coming back.
I love the Philip Rivers stuff.
Right?
I love it.
How much do you weigh? Well, I don't know that, to be honest with you. No, I'm
he had a whole comedy hour at his press conference yesterday.
Which is, I think, great in that situation. What's also great is plus 1,800 is the number I have seen for Philip Rivers to win Comeback Player of the Year, only behind Dak and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, so I love the whole story. I understand if you're a Chiefs fan and you still believe the Chiefs can make the playoffs, you don't want it to work there at Indy, but I'm just, I don't think that's going to happen anyway. So I'll enjoy the Philip Rivers 3 or 4 weeks that maybe we're going to get. Maybe he plays this Sunday. I don't know. Otherwise, his debut, which I hope it will be next week, Monday Night Football, 49ers, just set it up for that showcase. I think that'd be awesome. But you're right on Comeback Player of the Year. He opened at 18-1. I had a bonus bet on FanDuel, like a random $10 bonus bet. So I said, why the heck not? So $10 out when it was 15-1. So 10-1 up, $1.50. It's a long shot for a reason. But just hear me out on where we're at with Comeback Player of the Year. We all remember in 2023, Joe Flacco was on the couch as well. Now, he didn't sit out for 5 years. It was a shorter time period, but he comes back and he goes 4-1, I think it was, as a starter for the Cleveland Browns. He helps them get to the postseason. He also, though, had multiple 300-yard games, so he was playing some really, really good football. He ends up winning it. There was controversy with it. He was 250-1 to win the award, so people made some serious money on that. And then the Associated Press came out with new guidelines saying basically like it should be more about people that faced adversity and had an injury, yada, yada, yada. And so
it shouldn't be because you sucked last year.
Correct. Now, Philip Rivers in this case just hasn't played since 2020, and he's 44 years old. maybe he plays 3, maybe 4 games. But at 15-1, I think despite what the guidelines are, there's 50 voters. There's no rule that says they can't vote for him. So, like, yes, there's new parameters, but it doesn't prevent anybody from selecting that. If he starts and he wins two games, which I think is what will be needed to get him in the postseason, and he looks decent, I think it's worth the flyer at 15-1 because Christian McCaffrey is the favorite. He's coming back from a serious injury. Dak Prescott, same deal. But, Dak probably not going to make the playoffs with Dallas. The Niners probably will be a wild card team, but I haven't looked at McCaffrey's latest number. He's having a nice year. I don't think he's having like the most amazing running back season like he did a couple years ago. So why not at 15-1?
Yeah, I love it. I'm all in on something like that because, it's $10, right? It's not a big deal. And if you have a free bet, throw it on there and it could turn into something awesome. Let's look at the Michigan head coaching odds and figure out like what potentially could go on there because I think the odds on favorite is this Kalen DeBoer going to Michigan and that opens Alabama and then everybody's got Lane Kiffin going to Alabama. What are the odds telling us?
Yeah, so these are offshore. Remember, these are not books that you can bet stateside legally. So you're not going to be able to hop on your FanDuel or DraftKings app and see them. But Kalen DeBoer is the favorite offshore at 4-1. I don't know. You guys have been talking about it all morning, I'm sure. But why leave Alabama? Why leave Alabama? He's not a Michigan man.
I heard he doesn't like it down there, and he's not a Michigan man. That's the interesting, because I did a deep dive on this guy, and I'm like, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. But the only thing that I could come up with is he lost to Michigan twice, and so they were, but that's it. But he's been linked to that job for years.
His name was coming up with the Penn State job just a few weeks ago. Heavy press. I think that was more his agent doing what he's supposed to do, right, and try to leverage the situation. The names that are more interesting, I think, and realistic. So Jesse Minter, 5-1. The challenge with him, he was just at Michigan. He's got a show cause. And so I don't know how that plays into this possibility. He's the DC with the Chargers right now. A lot of people think he could be an NFL head coach. So I don't know. Obviously, I've never talked to the guy. I don't know. Does he want to be an NFL head coach? Does he want to go back to college? He's the name to watch. And then Joe Brady, who's the Bills OC. Does he want to go back to college? He's sitting at 6-1. And then further down the list, I think a name to watch, Kenny Dillingham. What do you guys make? He's the Arizona State head coach, younger coach. He's complained about some of the facilities there publicly. They don't have an indoor practice facility.
It's Arizona, though. You don't really need it. Yeah. That's what I mean. The state of Arizona, you don't need that indoor facility.
Well, I mean, hot as hell.
I think my question would be like, does Michigan have to have a splash hire?
Who are you asking that question to?
To everybody, I
because
guess.
If you're asking Michigan, the answer is, oh, yeah, they got to have a splash.
But also, because I think it'd be hilarious if Gruden got the job. I don't think he's going to because of where he's come from before and where they just got out of. I think they want somebody with the most clean slate possible.
Yeah, it'd be weird to go straight. That you're right. That's the issue. You almost do have to go with a squeaky clean guy heading into this next. Right.
But that's why Kalen DeBoer seemingly makes sense. And a week ago, they tracked a plane from the private airport at the university to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, which explains why now Alabama sucked eggs in that SEC championship game. Coach was thinking about Michigan.
Yeah, then there's Jed Fish, who's at Washington, 7-1. He's been around forever, but seems to be a really, really good recruiter as well. And it seems like
Fish is his name?
Jed Fish. Seems like a safe hire.
What about Willie Fritz?
Leaving from Houston. I don't think how old is he? I actually think that'd be a problem for Michigan. Like in their mind. I don't think they want to hire somebody that might only be there for how old's Willie Fritz? He's done a hell of a job. The KU should have hired him many years ago.
Shout out UCM. He's 65.
Right. Yeah, I don't think Michigan would hire somebody at 65. Not to try to be an ageist. I don't think they would at Michigan.
Yeah.
He's already doing a good job at Houston. He had a good first year.
By the way, Christian McCaffrey said numbers.
Yeah, where is he at?
So he's got as in like odds or where his numbers are. So he's got 85 receptions for 806 yards. So there's one. He's averaging 9 yards a catch. He's got 5 receiving touchdowns. He averages 62 receiving yards a game. He has 237 rush attempts for 849 yards. And 8 touchdowns there. So 13 touchdowns, almost 1,700 total yards, almost 100 yards almost 100 receptions on the year.
The reception stuff is interesting because every time he catches a pass, he gets a first down, essentially. That's insane.
Basically 2 points on fantasy.
Well, that's the whole explosive running back thing that I'm sure you guys have talked about as well this week. It's just, when's the last time you felt like they had a running back that could take a 10-yard carry and turn into 30 or a 5-yard catch into a 20-yard
I'll be
catch.
honest. I don't know the answer to that question. And the reason is because I don't know what Brashard Smith can do because Andy's not letting him play.
And I think we're all in the same boat with Brashard Smith. It's like, maybe he's nothing. Maybe he stinks. I don't know. But whenever he's touched the football, I don't know about you, I think something big potentially could happen because he's got some juice.
Yeah, and I'm going to say he probably doesn't stink because the last week we saw Ezra Pohl and the other guy out there, Noel Williams, doing his thing. And like, why were they buried on the depth chart for all this time?
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, are they evaluating talent on the field the right way? Once Brett brings it here, are the coaches evaluating it the right way?
I think that gets to the loyalty part of it, Bob, where there's nothing wrong with being loyal until you're loyal, loyal to a fault, right?
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what's
the
happening.
other thing that's interesting too is the pass Kareem dropped, right? That we've seen before. Now that Twitter's obviously out there with all the receipts, that Samaje Perine had the same play a couple years ago against Buffalo in the playoffs. I would have liked to see that be Brashard Smith. Kareem Hunt's known for getting the 1-yard run, not the out quick passes. That's almost like what could be considered one of Andy's gadget plays. Why aren't you putting a guy who actually played receiver, who now plays running back, to have that route? Because then you don't know where it goes. But instead, they went with Kareem Hunt.
Again, when you lose, everything is under question.
Yeah, I've had too much time on my hands. So
it's a legit question, though, Dusty.
Absolutely.
So last night on that betting show,
which one?
That one.
So Chiefs are 5.5-point favorites against the Chargers.
Dusty, it went up from last night too.
What are we doing here? Are we staying away, or we go Chargers?
Well, if you're betting it, look, the Chiefs haven't covered in 5 games. They've only won one of their last 5 outright anyway.
Correct.
Maybe you think the Chiefs can win. Okay, that's fine. The Chargers are banged up.
But by a touchdown.
You do you. But how on earth can I talk myself into actually thinking they're winning by 6? Like, it's the NFL. Like, it's not a 0% chance by any means. And it makes no sense that they would, but they probably will because we're having this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no, if you gave me $100, there's no way I would choose the Chiefs side minus 5.5 versus the Chargers side 5.5. That's just how I would look at it. They just have not covered. They're struggling to win football games to begin with. But as we talked about last week, they're going to be favorites, guys, in every single game the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I don't care if they get blown out this week. They will be favorites the next week, obviously, against the Titans, and they'll be favorites against Denver at home. I mean, Denver's a home dog to the Packers right now as well. I mean, the metrics still look at Kansas City in a favorable way, believe it or not. And we all, of course, have eyes, and we've all watched them and the mistakes and big moments and on and on and on. So I would never bet them at minus 5.5. Frankly, against other than Tennessee and maybe the Raiders, the rest of the way, they'll be much bigger favorites against Tennessee. That's it. I can't get there at all with the Chiefs.
And what was the line on that Monday night game? Was the Philadelphia Charter? Was Philadelphia like a 1.5 favorite?
This past Monday night?
Yeah. Or Philly favorite,
2.5, yeah.
In LA.
Yeah, 2.5.
LA's only 2.5 at home against Philadelphia, who we think is at the time probably a better team than the Chiefs, even though they're falling apart.
That offense in Philly is just
they took away the rabbit.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah,
positivity rabbit.
No longer there.
Yeah.
And then yet you come to Kansas City, who's 6-7, and you're 5.5-point dogs.
So look, the Chargers are extremely banged up. I mean,
but they played Monday night. Chiefs played Sunday.
Short
travel.
week. They're banged up. Herbert still, we all saw him. He clearly is not comfortable. Although that guy just continues to gut it out. I know we poke fun at Justin Herbert, but that dude playing through the injury right now is pretty impressive in what he's done. Mm-hmm. But they got injuries all over the team, so that's probably a big reason for it. You just can't use the same, like weeks and weeks ago, we could have sat in here and been like, well, the Chiefs got to have it spot at home. I can't do that anymore. Like they've had those already, guys, and they haven't won. So we're done with that part of it. I mean, we can pull up. It's funny. Trends are always used to support what you believe, right? I mean, because when we come in here and if I tell you I like a certain game, I can find you a trend that supports it. I can also you can find a trend that says the opposite. Mm-hmm. And I don't care what's like. There's some trends that I can point to that says the Chiefs are in a great spot for this game, Bob. I have eyes, and I can't get past that.
Well, they just don't look like a good football team, and that's what makes it hard right now to say, I think they're going to win a game, let alone win by 6 points.
Like Patrick Mahomes, his last 26 starts, he's only 9-17 against the spread. He's lost 5 in a row against the spread. So this goes back to earlier this year. That's the last season.
Right.
Not that the Chiefs care about covering the spread, but as far as what we're talking about betting, 9-17 against the spread. He's one of the lowest rates of covering right now in the NFL among quarterbacks.
Yeah, so bet against him. Are there any good Travis Kelce props for the last couple of games that you're going to look at? Because I would think, as I've been all season long taking Travis for the anytime touchdown, and it does. But I'm thinking as we get closer and closer to the end here of what could be his final year, just making it the Travis show, knowing that they're out of the postseason, and this is what fans are going to want to see. We've got 2 home games left to showcase Patrick and Travis, which is the greatest duo maybe in Kansas City history. are there numbers out there that you like from a Kelsey standpoint where you're like, hit the over on everything?
I think couple that with, we'd have to check in the next week. We'll start being in that territory, guys, where you have like the player incentives. And so the books are well aware of these too. But, let's say it's Kelsey. He doesn't have this incentive, but let's just say he did. He's 5 catches away from an extra $500,000. Stuff like that is something to keep an eye on these final couple weeks for prop bets when you're betting certain players. I know Mac knows a lot about this on the fantasy side. This is something that many years ago you could have really taken advantage of, but now the books have wised up and they have the same information and more than we all do as well. But to answer your question, so like on a Kelsey, I think reception props is where I would go. You can keep doing the touchdown thing, Bob. It's just, it gets so juiced at times. Yeah. Kelsey over under 4.5 receptions, even this Sunday against the Chargers. Historically, the Chargers are a team that he usually has some of his best games against, too. So I would like that. I don't really care for the yardage aspect, but over 4.5 receptions because I do think Patrick Mahomes is going to target Travis quite a bit in this game.
What do you think about, because we talked about Phillip Rivers a little bit earlier, and they're playing the Seahawks this week, and I know it's Riley Leonard. The Seahawks are favored by 14.
We just don't know who the quarterback is yet.
Does it matter?
I think so, yeah. I think so.
Seahawks last 2 games, they've won by 28 and 26.
Yeah, Seattle is all year. We've talked about this a few times. I think they have been one of the most undervalued teams in football this year because Seattle, in general, that franchise here recently is not a sexy franchise. Mm-hmm. And Sam Darnold is. We all saw what happened at the end of last season with the Vikings, and people are waiting and waiting. But then you have Jackson Smith and Jigba, who's having one of the best receiver seasons we've seen in a bit. I have to know who the quarterback is before I would bet it. No doubt. It's probably a game that I'm not gonna bet. You start
Riley
to get
Leonard
to a number that big.
Full yesterday.
Who are you more apt to bet on, Riley Leonard or Phillip Rivers?
So it's weird because none of us have seen Rivers in 5 years, but I know if they can protect him.
I'm just laughing. None of us seen the guy in 5 years.
Well, it's true. It's true.
I know. It's just so bizarre. It's like, oh my God. I'm thinking of these high school kids have me.
Yeah. Like, we know from an intelligence side of things, I have no doubt that he's going to be able to execute Shane Steichen's offense, who you saw the report from J.J. Watt, who was saying that basically he's running the Shane Steichen offense at his high school.
Well, he's friends with Shane. Shane
very
coached
close.
him
He got
years
emotional
ago.
yesterday talking about him. Generally, they are very, very close. So I would lean more with Rivers. Like Riley Leonard, we are still talking about a rookie. So you got the rookie aspect of it and then the unknown. Rivers has no mobility, but I know he's going to execute the offense. So I'm not betting it, but if you force me, I would feel better if Rivers was starting on Sunday, even on a short week.
Okay, I would too. Yeah.
Kind of a loaded question here because Mac thinks if Buffalo wins this week, Josh Allen will be the MVP favorite. If they win,
I disagree with that.
I did too. I think it would just go to Stafford.
Yes.
But again,
now if the Lions blow out Stafford and he throws a couple picks, then that's when Mac's in business on what he's saying. Yeah.
And then also, if that is the case, could we have a flip it coach of the year this week as well? If
Vrabel that's the more
this game, because he's right now what I've seen is minus 300, and then Mike McDonald is the one behind him. Seattle plus 750. Mac hates Seattle for some reason.
Really?
No, I don't.
He's never even been there. I mean, how could you hate someplace that you've never been?
I love Sam Darnold. I think they're a top 10 team. I just don't think they're going to hoist the Lombardi Trophy this year.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, it is fair.
Who is?
It's accurate.
I think we're getting a Rams-Patriots Super Bowl.
Also, I didn't say that he would be the favorite because I don't care about the odds. I say he'd win the MVP if he wins this Sunday. And he will because he'll beat the Drake May, and then he'll beat Jalen Hurts and the Eagles 2 weeks later. That's it.
So let's start with Coach of the Year.
Just a lot has to happen for that to happen with Josh Allen. I'm kidding.
You love when I say that, don't you?
I do.
Last week we talked about the Super Bowl value stuff and not to bet the Chiefs at 17-1, despite how attractive that looked. That seemed to be a pretty good idea.
And then it wasn't.
Yeah, to not bet it though.
Yeah.
And the season's over.
Yes, Mike Vrabel minus 200, and then Mike McDonald at Seattle at plus 650. I think if Vrabel's the 1 seed or a 2 seed because they lose a tiebreaker, they win 14 or 15 games, I think he's the Coach of the Year. I don't think anybody can surpass him. But if they were to lose and they become the clear number 2 seed, they were to slip up again, and Seattle takes the division from the Rams, then I think Mike McDonald would be an interesting play. But Vrabel, his only competition prior to this was really Shane Steichen. And then they've really fallen off because of that. And then Ben Johnson, you could have made a case when they were looking like the number 1 seed. Then, as we all know, they lost, and they're now the 7 seed in the NFC. So Ben Johnson was the coach that had the biggest drop in the last week. He's all the way down. He's got the fifth best odds now. He's behind Kyle Shanahan. He's behind Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen's an interesting name suddenly if they were to win out as well. But I think it's more of Vrabel's to lose at this point.
It's crazy how the odds change week to week for Coach of the Year. And that's why I think, and this is just my opinion on it, and I could be 100% wrong, but like if you believe somebody's going to be Coach of the Year, just stick with that guy. And no matter where he is in the odds, like if last week we thought Ben Johnson was going to be Coach of the Year, they lost a game to a division rival. Should that change everything that he's done to make Caleb Williams look halfway decent? And
Yeah, I think it's because the Bears have a real chance to not make the playoffs at all now. Like they get Cleveland this week, they'll probably win. But if they were to lose, their percentage, I think, drops below 50% to make the postseason. So you're not going to be Coach of the Year unless you make the postseason.
Yeah,
even if
fair.
you were a one-win team the year before, I'd have to go look if that's ever happened. But the Coach of the Year market is what's fun about, same with MVP, you can have your preseason bet in August. And let's say, this year you had it on, maybe you thought the Patriots were going to have a good year. You have a ticket on Vrabel way back when he was, 8-1. So you got an 8-1 ticket. Well, then now you would hedge a little bit and put money on Mike McDonald or Liam Cohen. And then you've got two tickets at 8-1 and you're sitting really pretty. These markets are fun because you can, as the season goes on, even if your preseason bet was incorrect, you can still make some money and cash a ticket because, as you said, it changes so much week to week.
Yeah.
And same with the MVP market. That's why a lot of people like the awards markets.
You know the juicy one I like?
Let me hear it.
Schottenheimer, Coach of the Year, Dak MVP, Dallas wins that division.
3 weeks ago, I would have loved it.
If they can still win the division.
Yeah.
And if they do, those odds.
After they beat 2 weeks ago, after they beat the Chiefs, I would have said, oh, you know what? There's a path. I don't think so.
What do you got coming up today?
Yeah, so we'll talk about the Sharon Moore story. I'm sure more details continue to come out and just the bizarre nature of everything there and of course, what that can mean for college football moving forward. Plus, Danon Hughes going to join us.
His birthday.
At 10:30. Danon's?
Yeah, Danon's birthday
Thanks for the
today,
heads
yeah.
up. Okay.
Cody sing happy birthday for him.
He probably would. He probably would. Yeah.
Drew, okay?
Don't give anybody ideas.
Some tough audio yesterday for Drew's boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Joe
we are
Burrow
going to talk
stuff,
about
man.
Joe Burrow.
You have to.
Andrew Luck-esque.
Yeah,
You
I'm
have to.
concerned. I really am. I feel bad for Joe Burrow as a
And then
human
his
being
other
right now.
boy, Shador Sanders, is going to play a negative 20 wind chills this weekend against Caleb Williams and the Bears.
No, everything's solved with him though. He played great against the Titans. They lost, and so we've got all our questions answered now about him.
So
He's good to go.
sarcastic. I love it. That's Alex Gold. He'll come up next from 10 to 2. We'll wrap this show up on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is Leo Chanel, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Minimum deposit of $10 to participate. Rewards are non-withdrawal or bonus bets. BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sports fans in Missouri can sign up for BetMGM using bonus code DUSTY and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet does not win. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day. Get into hockey, basketball, and pro football with features like live bets, same-game parlays, BetMGM rewards points, and surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. It's everything a sports fan could want in one app. BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sign up today using bonus code DUSTY to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Minimum deposit of $10 to participate. Rewards are non-withdrawal or bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
Men, you need to look great for holiday events. Let Peter's Clothiers give you the perfect fit you're looking for. From sportswear to suits and sports coats and sizes to fit every man. PetersClothiers.com or stop in today at 124th and State Line.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens. Let me tell you about my friends over at GiveMeTheVin.com because I'm sure you've got a car that you're trying to get rid of. Well, I can tell you how to do it easily with GiveMeTheVin.com because they want to buy your car, whether it is your daily driver pickup truck, SUV, minivan, supercar, or exotic. So say goodbye to dealing with all those dealerships and private sale tire kickers and get a true buy offer for your car. GiveMeTheVin.com puts your car right on the money, providing you with a hassle-free online option to sell your car for more. It's as simple as going to GiveMeTheVin.com and entering your car's VIN number or license plate number. You'll get an offer on your car in minutes. That is way above any dealer quote. You can go to one of their pickup locations or they'll even come to you. It's as easy and it's fast. GiveMeTheVIN.com is America's best car buyer. Hit it, boys.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
The holidays are back at Starbucks, so share the season with a peppermint mocha. Starbucks signature espresso, velvety mocha, and cool peppermint notes, topped with whipped cream and dark chocolate curls. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The holidays are back at Starbucks, so share the season with a peppermint mocha. Starbucks signature espresso, velvety mocha, and cool peppermint notes, topped with whipped cream and dark chocolate curls. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
Final segment of the show today here on a Thursday. Coming up tomorrow, it's the Friday show you love. Mitch Holthus, Sean Smith, all the good stuff. Roundtable with Rob Brenton. I know that I'm hard. I don't know Carrington, he's washed.
Yeah, who's he going to have washed tomorrow? Phillip Rivers?
Andy.
Andy. Oh, yes.
That's right. Man, I just find it interesting that the best future bet of the awards is Coach of the Year. Because it's kind of, I mean, I know Mike Vrabel, as Alex said, in some books it's minus 200 or minus 300, but got to think, man, if he doesn't win his division and Buffalo sneaks that division, it's not going to go to McDermott. But then you look at other possibilities that could happen. Like, what if Carolina, what if Tampa loses tonight and they get to 7-7 and Carolina wins this week and they get to 8-6
100%.
and all of a sudden there's a guy right there sitting at Coach of the Year at plus 750 that I know a lot of you out there have free bets. Why not put some skin on that?
He just beat the Rams.
And if Seattle goes out there, because yeah, exactly. And if Seattle goes out there, because they've won, I think they won a game, 28-7? And then they won last week 26, or no, they won 26-0 and 28-9.
They had a donut in there 2 weeks ago versus Brosmer.
Yeah, they beat Minnesota 26-0, and I think they beat the next team they played. They beat them 28-7.
Falcons even worse, 37-9.
37-9. Yeah, they won by 28 and 26 or whatever it was.
That'll be interesting to see what Carolina does next year, more so than this year, because now next year they're going to be a little bit on the radar, right? When you're the Carolina Panthers and whoever their quarterback is and their coach, nobody knows who these people are, you lighten up a little bit. Like, ask the Chiefs for the last 8 years if they ever got anybody's worst effort. You get everybody's best effort. And look, ask the Chiefs when they played Carolina a couple times during this run. It was close both times, I believe, right here at Arrowhead, and then there was another one I think down there that was very close, where they barely were able to get a win. And everybody's like, how could you not beat Carolina by a lot? Well, everybody raises their level when they play the Chiefs, and when you're the Carolina Panthers, people let down their guard a little bit because they feel like, we don't have to go as hard this week. It's called human nature. So I'm interested to see next year for Carolina not playing the last place schedule, not sneaking up on people, how the response is going to be.
We had a Travis Kelce conversation, and people were like, you guys sound like he's finished. Well, this was him on his own podcast, New Heights.
Like, I've always had the answers in years past, and this year I just can't find them. And I keep thinking if I show up to work and I put in the work and I fix the issues through my practice habits and through perfecting the game plan and my fundamentals and what I'm being taught, and go out there and try and play my ass off for my guys next to me, it's all going to come together like it has in years past. And this year's just not, man.
That's a different voice. Mm-hmm. That's a different demeanor. That is an interesting audio clip of what is reality of Travis Kelce. Is Father Time? Is the alarm gone off, and have we hit the snooze button a couple times this week and not realize that maybe he is done, not because he is forcibly thinking he's done or that he is just mentally done. He would go on his podcast and continue to have some conversations.
Obviously, looking at the playoffs late in the season right now, it's not looking too great for us right now. It's a crazy league. Anything can happen, and that's the little bit of hope that I have. But man, this is a tough reality to be in. It's a feeling, especially dropping the ball late in the game like that when we were on our last chance to make something shake.
I hear you.
You put in all this work to be there for your guys, and I just wasn't that. I wasn't that.
I do got to point out, I think that catch would have been pretty damn impressive catch. That was a tough one.
I agree.
I think sometimes the ball just doesn't fall your way, and you guys have had the epitome of that this year. I know the competitor you are, and how badly you want it, how badly Pat wants it, the work you guys put in. So I feel for you for sure.
I'm going to always show up to work and give it my all. And if there's a game to be played, I'm going to make it the most important game of the world. We got 4 games left, and go put my heart on the line for these guys because they deserve that. Chiefs Kingdom, you guys deserve that. And we're going to keep this thing rolling, man. We're going to keep trying to find a ways to win.
Yeah, that sounds like a bye-bye to me.
Okay.
Does that not sound like a bye-bye to you guys?
Sounds like
too?
I know now why he didn't talk to the media with all those bleeps.
And look, to be honest with you, when do they tape that? Tuesday? Wednesday? Right?
Yeah.
Tuesday or Wednesday? So that was after 2 full days of letting it all settle in and kind of figure out what went on and coming to that realization in midweek where it's just like, I'm doing everything I possibly can. I just don't know anymore. I don't have any more solutions. I think Travis Kelce told us without telling us, and maybe Travis Kelce told himself without telling himself by that conversation, I've done all I can in this game. I got nothing left in the tank. And if he walks away and has nothing left in the tank, that's an awesome way to go out. I gave my all. I got nothing left to give to this game. I've won championships. I've created a dynasty here. Like, Travis Kelce is
grown as a human,
as an adult. I mean, we watched this guy grow up in our city, and it's just I get emotional talking about it because it's bigger than football. It really is what the winning does and how that creates relationships and friendships and all the stuff that we know that goes on. To hear Travis talk like that sounded really finality to me. And I'm listening to that. I'm going, man, you got 4 games left. You, the collective us, 4 games left to go watch this guy play football. We'll never see a tight end better in Kansas City. I promise you that. We'll never see a more celebrated athlete in Kansas City because of the Taylor Swift connection. Like, he will go down as the most popular athlete in Kansas City sports history. And I think people will look at Travis Kelce, and you'll obviously remember the football stuff. You'll remember the off-the-field stuff. There's something for every single Kansas Cityan to remember about Travis Kelce. Whether you were a football fan or not, that guy's given us everything. And the one thing that we can do for him in these final 2 home games, it's going to feel like, is make sure that we're there and screaming our asses off and cheering for him and enjoying the moment. I've told you guys this since 2014. It goes fast. For the first time since 2014, we don't have a team in the postseason in sports in Kansas City. The Royals and the Chiefs are both postseasonless right now. That hasn't happened in 11 years. I mean, think about that. Think about this 11-year run that we've been on, and it started in 2014 with the Royals going to the playoffs. The Chiefs missed the playoffs that year. So since 2014 to right now, 2025, because the Super Bowl counts, we've had a playoff team in one sport or the other for 11 straight years. And I've told you guys since 2014 to enjoy it. The end is here. I hope you enjoyed it.
The end is here for Cam Newton, who is just all about himself. Cam Newton says he felt disrespected that the Colts signed 44-year-old grandfather Phillip Rivers before even calling him. Should India have reached out to 36-year-old Super Cam?
What world does that guy live in?
4th and 1.
His own world.
His own world is weird.
It's also you're not best friends with the coach.
They got cool hats in his world.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Yeah.
Interesting hats. You didn't throw the football well in your prime.
Right.
Now
like
you're
you
36.
Yeah.
You were predicated upon your legs. You're old.
Yeah.
Your legs don't work.
You don't talk about washed.
Yeah,
Cam Newton is
come
washed
on.
as the day is long.
Stop. One awesome season. Historic season.
That's it. 1 year. That guy had 1 year.
Amazing year.
More than you had.
Tells you about how they think about you. They got a guy who has 0 legs and throws sidearm and is a grandfather, and they didn't want you who has legs and no arm.
Right, exactly.
Think about that. Exactly.
And I think that's his realization, too, that he's coming to. Is like, oh, my God, they took a guy that was, basically doing nothing in life for the last 5 years, has grandchildren. Also, what's really strange, he has a 2-year-old son and a 1-year-old grandson. That's a great nephew-uncle dynamic.
I saw that. I'm like, whoa. It's crazy.
I thought it was weird that my uncle was only 7 years older than me. This is like 1 year older than you. They're going to grow up as best friends, an uncle and cousin relationship. Cool. Yeah. Who's this? Is this your friend? That's my uncle.
That's my uncle.
What?
When you have
like imagine 3rd grade for those two guys.
Exactly.
You related to that guy that's in 3rd grade? Yeah, that's my uncle. What?
Quiet down, nephew.
Yeah.
Why'd your uncle pick you up from school on his bike? Because he's 15 and I'm 7.
Exactly. And I'm 14.
Chode is one of the words we got from the text line.
I love it.
Hey, fun show today, guys. Tomorrow is Friday. We'll have Mitch Holtis, Sean Smith, and Rob Britton will be our guests on the round table. Always love having Mr. Rob Britton in. Get him away from Carrington and see what the rips he takes tomorrow on this Chiefs-Chargers game. Chiefs favored by 5.5 tonight.
That's crazy.
Atlanta and Tampa in Tampa Bay, I believe.
Yes.
So we get to watch Snaker, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Abuka, playoff start, baby. Fantasy football. Go do something nice for somebody today. You never know. It could change their day, their week, their month, their year. It is simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay kind, stay safe, stay groovy. Coming up next, it's Cody Golden Drew from 10 to 2. Be nice to Drew, please. Be nice to Drew. He's having a tough morning. We love you. We'll talk to you tomorrow.